right? Because imagine you in commune with God at all moments, right? That you are in company, that you are in audience with Allah at all times. Imagine that, right? Because that's inadvertently as well as imagine that, right? Because that's inadvertently as well as unspokenly the insinuation, really. That's really the underlined exception as well as acceptance is that God sees. Not only God, but the angels are watching, right? Everything that happens. Yes, and doesn't happen. However, that means the demons is looking and listening, right? But why would God allow that? Not why, but imagine, right? I'm saying like, just a thought. Imagine, right? Because the sanctity of that connection with the Almighty, right, is personal, right? So personal to where at a particular point, ain't no demons invited, nigga. I'm saying you get to, you know what I'm saying? You get to that lofty state of beingness, you know what I mean, where you sanctify. You might be getting baptized. God letting the demons see that? Or do the demons go blind when you baptize? Because that's the most purest point that's the most purest point. Like, that's the most sacred point. Like, that's not fair. It's not that it's not fair. It's just that Allah don't like that. The God I know ain't having none of that, cuz. Ain't having that, yo. Not for a moment. You understand? That ain't never necessary. Like, you feel me? It's just that be fucking me up. Like, it's certain points, like, I understand, like, you can't do nothing about it. It's always gonna be good with the bad with the good, except for the purely holy. There is no bad in the purely holy. You know what I mean? And God sees, God is watching. All that's happening and not happening. Right there in union with it. In accordance, right? You know what I mean? Just think about every thought you have, every deed you commit, good or bad, past or present. Allah's present there the whole time. But that's not the only, it's also angels, demons, and whoever else, right? So there's really no privacy, basically. But you don't need privacy from God because you want that approval. You feel me? You want God to know even what you might forget about that didn't happen in your life, in your deeds, right? And even if you wish you could get away with some shit without having to know that God know, at the end of the day, you wouldn't trade that for being able to say, well, okay, I need your input on this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to need your input as well as response and approval and certification in regards to what I've done and not done. Even if I'm not ready, even if I'm not accepting of it, or, you know, it's not, doesn't fit my liking, or rather doesn't fit my agenda at the moment, you know. That's the whole point of growth. That's the point of living through. That's the point of repentance, as well as what is called covenant, right? And you know, being under the covenant, right? Also transparency, right? That's a beautiful blessing right there. You know, the only unforgivable sin is blasphemy, right? So regardless of whatever it is that may happen or that you may do, it's never the worst until it's without God to begin with. right? So I guess that does entail the inclusion of whatever other side of that as well, to a certain extent, which is interesting, right? Because why would, I mean, I'm saying, where does an interest come from? You know what I mean? What is the interests, basically, is part of what I'm saying also. You know what I'm saying? What really is the interest? Where does the interest originate? You know, God care, he created. Other than that, that's extra. And it's parts that your creator is invited to, because he got that right. But don't nobody else got that right, though, you like, except for it being given to them by, of course, the same creator. But that's also, I guess, something that that we should keep in mind as an element, because it's not even the right about it, or for you to assess if it's good or bad that the right is granted, or if it's wrong or right that the right is shared. It's just, the assessment of it is really just kind of like addressing it, not really understanding it, but considering that. It's interesting. It's very interesting. You know what I mean? Like, it's very interesting. Because God got the power to influence, while other darker forces have the propensity or the capacity to interfere, even if it's not with you. If they see whatever it is you're doing, another weaker person could succumb, right? Based on their knowledge of something that you've done that another person is going to need to step in the same faith, step in the same righteousness, or basically righteousness, holiness, basically, in order not for the power of it in itself to present a danger for them. You dig what I mean? And that's part of it too. That's and for me to say that, now you kind of capturing what it is that made me kind of trip off of that. Like, that's all part of the test also. That's part of the exchange as well as the arrangement. You know what I mean? Like, as a mature spiritual person, a mature doer, creator, basically, or creative, because that's what we do. Once we create it, we begin to create. We can't help but do that. Even in destroying, we're creating destruction, right? Right. But as far as the design or whatever, it's all connected, and it's something to consider. It's something to consider in reference to all that's happening and not happening, and that's involved to keep up with. But it is already connected. It's already connected and can be identified and appreciated. Universally, just through, considering basically the aspects connected to whatever it is that you're doing or not doing. But that's the whole point. Like, you could not know what it is that you're doing in what it is that you're doing. Like, for you, you're doing something between you and God, and you understand it to be that. But that's not all who see, right? At the same time, right? Where does the blinders come on, right? Is it at a baptism? They can't see that. You got a force field around you until whatever time after that, or what? Like, you did when we praying. You know what I mean? That's when you are forgiven. Is in your prayer. Ain't no sin that's unforgivable except for blasphemy. So in prayer, until you act against whatever it is you've prayed about in repentance, then you forgiven and are holy from that point. At least holy enough outside of however holy a human can be. And as a human, you're only so holy to where you got these evil eyes on you as well. The whole time. You understand? Hey, what up? Like, cause you can, yeah, cause you gain control over your demons, over demons in general. You know, you remember, you note the story of Solomon. Yes, Solomon, the wisest man, who could ask God for anything. The son of David, another murderer. Yes, David was a ruthless murderer. Man, this nigga was a professional killer. Okay, David, King David. David who killed Goliath. Nigga was killing niggas since he was a little nigga. David didn't stop killing niggas, homie. David got famous for fading niggas, homie. Okay? I don't know if Goliath was his first victim or not. But since then it was on. Okay? Now this is the father of Solomon, yes. Some type of way. Soul, old man, wasn't in a position to have a conversation with God directly. Or maybe Gabriel. I gotta check. It could even been Raphael. Okay. Cuz said you can have anything. We gon' select you. You have been ordained. You have been selected, pre-selected, so as to be the recipient of this rewards. Anything that you dream. You can have fame. You can have power. You can have immortality. You can have anything. It's a test to Solomon, the son of murderous ass David, who David became one of the most powerful, one of the most loved protectors of God's word, of God, you know what I mean? Of the Hebrews. That's who he was protecting when he killed Goliath, the Hebrews. You understand? Okay? No, it might have been before Moses, but after Noah. It's after Abraham. You know what I mean? Now David was supposedly been down the line of Abraham. Right? You know what I'm saying? He was the son of the son of the son of the son of Isaac, who was Abraham's son. Right? Now, which of the sons of Isaac David was, I couldn't tell you because Isaac had mad sons. You understand? While Abraham only had one son, who was Isaac. And that was a miracle because he was very old. He wasn't supposed to be having no babies. You know what I'm saying? Isaac was a miracle. And I think he might have had another baby son that nobody talk about. But when you think about David was represented. He was a regulator. You know what I'm saying? He held the name proudly. And it just was in his blood. It just happened to happen how it happened. He had a son and he named Solomon after the son itself. I think that might have been his only son. The nigga name was Solo. You know what I'm saying? Solo man. The wisest of all kings. The richest of all kings. Yeah, I mean, and because what came with the wisdom was anything else that he would have ever thought to ask. Yes. About Solomon, though. And the thing about Solomon was he had control over demons. You understand? Supposedly he had this one ring. He could put a demon in the ring. He had 72 demons in this one ring. The nigga had all the wickedest drip. You're not fucking with that drip. Yeah, man. See, he understood phonetics as well as what is called somatics. Somatics, you know what I mean? Soma, like the nectar of the moon. Somatic, which is the structure of sound, the different structures, the mathematical breakdown of the structure of sound. Now, 72 is a symbolic number, right? Because within 3 days, there exists 72 hours, right? However, within 3 days, a period of 3 days, which is however many minutes, right? Because one day contains about 1,440 minutes is one day. That times 3, if I was to do the math, is around 72 some minutes, 72,000 some minutes, and it's also 72 hours. Hold on, man. Wait a second, man. How many minutes it is in a day? It's 1,440 minutes. How many people get into heaven? 144,000. Okay? Now, how many minutes in 3 days? Well, 1,440, which is how many minutes is in one day, 24 hours, times 3, which would be 3 days. Guess what? We're going to start with the first number, which is the 1. I'll be at the beginning of 1,440. Yeah? Which is the number of the minute of the minutes in 24 hours. 1,440. How many people get into heaven after 144,000? That's a hell of a coincidence, man. That's just special right there, man. That's scientific, man. Mathematical, bro. Mighty wise. So you got how many minutes in 3 days? We're going to take 3 times 1, which is the first letter. No, man, I mean number. In the Hebrew number, I mean in the amount of hours, which is 1,440. Times 3, give you a 3. 3 times 4 is what? It's 12. Okay, well, that's going to give you a 2 with a carryover of 1 over to the 3 you already got. So that's 44 already. No, wait, I'm tripping. I'm going backwards. I ain't supposed to start with the 1. I'm supposed to start with the 0. I'm going backwards. And I'm already off. I'm fucking up. That's not even, it ain't even relevant what I'm doing because I had already started times it at times 2. Right? Because I said to myself 1,440 is close to 2,000. So 2,000 times 6. But I rounded it off, then added the 440 on top of the 2 that had already rounded off. And I was hoping it to be close. Something in the back of my mind was like, okay, well that's kind of special that it would even match up. But then at the same time, part of me must have been wanting it to match up because it didn't even match up. But how much it is anyway? We start at the 0. 0 times 3. Let me just write it down. I want to write it down. You can do it in your mind. It's good when you do. 3 times 0, right, is 0. Right? You're not going to get nothing else because you ain't nothing else other than that. 3 times 0. 3 times 4 is 12. That's the next one over from the 0, so that gives you 20. Carrying over 1 to the 4 that you're going to multiply times 3. Next. Right? So that gives you 13. Is 440 times 3, 1320. So you add that times 3,000 and give you 4420. Alright. That's weird because I feel like I wanna, but it's not weird because see, I'm trying to make 3 times 4 more than 12 when it's not. I'm thinking of 4 times 4, which would give you 16. But it's not 4 times 4, it's 3 times 4, which is going to give you 12, which you always be wanting to give 3 times 4 more than 12 because 3 times 5 is automatically 15, but we working with threes, and threes is sneaky. 3 is sneaky. Anyway, this number 72 is still symbolic because there's 72 hours in a day. But I mean, there's 72 hours in 3 days. Now, what happens within 3 days? There's things that happen in 3 days. It actually correlates with several things that's going on within 3 days. So I won't go into all of that right now. But as far as wisdom and the control of demons, right? Now that is a smooth connection for sure. That's a definite implementation made in the account of Brother Solomon, which is the son of David, which is the son of Abraham, which will be the son of Noah, because of course Noah was the progenitor of humankind after the flood. Wiped out anybody else that would be able to have any other babies. Now Moses wasn't related to one of these niggas. Okay? But Moses, I think, might have came after David, if I'm not mistaken. Moses represents the new covenant, so he absolutely definitely came after everybody's son. So it was now the blood transferred over to this nigga Moses with this new fucking, with this new family basically that didn't have to be related to Abraham, and that's what Moses represents. It's the new covenant, but part of the Old Testament / Old Covenant, the original covenant. You know what I'm saying? The family recipe, quote unquote. Part of the Old Testament / Old Covenant, the original covenant. That nigga David had a young baby son. You know what I'm saying? Because David was a player too. But Solomon was a player. Solomon was a player, pimping ass player. You understand? And the master of all players. The nigga controls 72 demons in one ring. The nigga that's driveted. That's grass drizzle. Okay. But why? What does that represent? Ooh, well, it represents much. You know what I'm saying? Because you got much that come up out of that. You understand? And you think about the Solomon's temple, yes. That has a correlation with the anatomy. Okay? Now, if that's the case, and Solomon is a metaphor for relations to the body, and this nigga control demons, because what happens is, right, with your actions, as well as words, i.e. thoughts, i.e. prayers, which are viewed by God, as well as all other spiritual entities, including angels and demons, you now are controlling these demons, or not controlling them. Inviting them to parlay, to medley, frolic in your space, because I would say they would control you, but demons is never gonna control you. You understand? They're not there for that. They just want recognition, acknowledgement, basically. Acknowledgement. You understand? They want to be part of it. You know what I mean? They want to be involved, basically. However, they are there for you to not necessarily conquer, not necessarily even control, but to manage and direct, basically. Not necessarily just direct as if you want to like conquer them, or rather conjure them, or enchant or whatever. You know what I mean? Use them as tools, and that's the whole point. Like, that's what you're going to end up doing if you're not, what is it called, subduing them, basically. And what is it called, transforming them. You know what I mean? It's really just the happenstance, really. You know what I mean? What would happen, what could happen, in reference to what is to happen, what is there the opening as well as potential as to should be going on in reference and respects to the elements involved, all of the different components mathematically that led to a particular decision that's made. Now, if for whatever reason now you're overly focused or distracted or ignoring particular aspects and components in reference to the decision you're making, then that's when you are not collecting mathematically these fringes basically of energy. You know what I'm saying? Unwisely, that is. So what exactly is wisdom? Well, shit. Looking at the life of Solomon, you can answer that question to a certain extent. Because everything that happened is an analogy. Especially if the nigga literally has 72 demons in a ring, then that in itself, that means that the fucking whole account could just, it's extremely fantastic to begin with. Regardless if it's true or not, nigga, it's still fantastic. It still has metaphorical value. Regardless. It has to do with the sound, you know, the audible sound, the expressed sound, and otherwise. It has to do with the sound, you know, the audible sound, the expressed sound, and otherwise, right? As far as wisdom, that's truth. Wisdom, that's truth. There is no wisdom that is not true. And so that is the key, as in like the lesser key and greater key of Solomon. These are some keys, beginning with, of course, the shaping of the master key, which is motherfucking truth, ho. And whatever it is that you encounter, like a demon or an angel, you having the responsibility through your decision, basically, your exchange, that opening of the gates with that key, which is truth, right? Because the lesser key is when you were to omit the truth. The greater key is for you, of course, now, because you're going to be saying shit or not saying shit. Even when you thinking shit, that's inaudible sound in itself. So it doesn't matter. Oh, you're going to be thinking regardless. And those thoughts are communicated to your brain through words at this point, especially after this book that's telling you this story. You understand me? Okay, now before all that, your thoughts perhaps didn't even leave the realm of all-included sound that it could be, to where it's not even one particular arrangement or collection of 1 through 7 syllables or notes to begin with. It's all of them, including 7 million more that ain't been fucking designated as well as, you feel me? Manufactured so as to structure this particular system of 72 some odd aspects in however many days or hours. You know what I'm saying? Don't get off track. We'll be back to this. I got mad shit to go into right now. I know if I start on this, nigga, I'm gonna be procrastinating at that point. And I'm not a procrastinator. I'm an amateur-asterator. Yo, I'm not a procrastinator. I'm an amateur-crastinator. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mastered crastinating just yet. I'm not interested in mastering and becoming a professional crastinator, to be honest. But hey, man, I'm a drunken master. Sometimes I be knowing how to do shit I don't even know how to do. They go for anything. We'll be back to this. I got mad shit to go into right now. I know if I start on this, nigga, I'm gonna be procrastinating at that point. And I'm not a procrastinator. I'm an amateur aspirator. Yo, I'm not a procrastinator. I'm an amateur procrastinator. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mastered procrastinating just yet. I'm not interested in mastering and becoming a professional procrastinator, to be honest. But hey, man, I'm a drunken master. Sometimes I'll be knowing how to do shit I don't even know how to do. They go for anything. As far as the truth, though, you know how to tell the truth. You may not know how to lie. You may not learn how to master professional lying just yet, but you know how to tell the truth. And that's what's going to show you how to not tell the truth. Hopefully. Right? Hopefully not telling the truth don't tell you how to tell the truth. Then you all twisted up. You have to call fucking Solomon and borrow a ring from him. When it comes to Solo, man, you did what I mean? He was the wisest. He asked for wisdom. He said, shit, man, I think I want to be wise. I ain't think about the wives or none of that. I ain't think about none of the riches or none of that shit. I mean, at the same time, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? My father was a respectable man, you know what I'm saying? My father is an honorable man. You know what I'm saying? And he has power, you know what I'm saying? But he still respect God. He respect the word of God. He'll die and kill for the word of God. You know what I'm saying? God chose him and forgave him for some very heinous things. That nigga David didn't murk husbands, the wives that he wanted. Didn't murk the wives. You know what I'm saying? And God still said, you know what, son? I believe in you. Well, shit, I believe in you then. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a criminal. Criminal. You know what I'm saying? And so Solomon was like, you know, my pops was one of the fucking illest niggas I know. This nigga one of the illest niggas I know. Could have killed a nigga 10 times his size, nigga with a rock smaller than his hand. Everybody respect my dad. And you know who my dad respect? The person who is the most knowing, the all-knowing. Me, I want to be like that person. Why? So that I can have the respect of people like my father, who I love dearly, and who was a manly man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't taking nothing from nobody, except for this particular person, who happens to have all of the answers to any question. What do I want to do? If I could have anything, I'd like to know what that feels like. Because obviously it must be good, and obviously it must be a good quality and a good characteristic, because that is the characteristic of the most good, the most of all goodness. Well, shoot, man, I don't know. It's just an idea. It's a notion. I mean, if I don't like it, I ain't have it before I got it. I ain't missing it. He didn't even know he was asking for. Boy, I'll tell you the truth. You got that wisdom, boy. He saw first the kingdom and everything else came with it, you know what I'm saying? But then what ended up happening with him is his weakness was the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Even with the wisdom, you know what I'm saying? The ladies, you know what I'm saying? It ain't had nothing to do with wisdom. You know what I'm saying? His inclination, you know what I'm saying, for lavish luxury penetrated his wisdom. It was the woman that got to Solomon, right? This nigga controlled demons. But his downfall was what? Oh. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't choose between all of those options. You understand? As far as options though. When you get the opportunity, yes, to lie or not, you better be very careful and choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? Because who is the police? Where the police at? Okay? They everywhere now. Okay? That's why we got this social media. You know what I'm saying? It's a surveillance society, nigga. Everything is on camera. Okay? You got citizens doing the police job for them, okay? You're doing anything that anybody might want to see, it's gonna be on camera. All they gotta do is survey who might have been in the vicinity at the time. They ain't gotta do no investigation, man. They don't need to do no sting, none of that, cuz. Yeah, well shit, do you have a phone? Let me see your smartphone. Thank you so much. Oh man, you saved us so much time. Wow, you really did do a great job of. Oh wow, you could be the junior scout investigator. Would you like to come to the academy for a trial? So as far as like lying, especially when you ain't got to, because you ain't never got to lie. However, sometimes you get pinned up. You know what I'm saying? And the mathematics reverse on your ass, and you gotta throw opposition off, basically. Options, opposition, right? You gotta throw opposition off, basically, because it's like out of respect and with honor, right? And through defense, right? Because the nigga Solomon said, "Well, shit, nigga, the strongest nigga I know, respect, truth, wisdom. That's what my father fucking serves and worships. Is this true sovereignty of all." You know what I'm saying? The creator of the universe. And he listens to him. He follows the instructions from this person. Right? Now, what's the point I said that for? I think Solomon said, whoop, wop, as far as like telling the truth. Oh, you gotta protect. You know what I'm saying? These niggas are protectors, guys. Okay? These niggas are protectors. Like, they gotta understand, like, sometimes you gotta sacrifice, you feel me? Real shit. Just like Abraham, right? You dig what I mean? It's like you can't jeopardize good so as to entertain the bad, basically, right? Because it's like you don't always have to diffuse evil. And that's the whole analogy, even with him controlling demons. Right? Because why the fuck would you want to control a demon? Why don't you just destroy that motherfucking demon? Especially if you can control it. Yes? No, that don't make sense? That don't make sense? If you can control a demon, why the fuck you want to just destroy the shit? Oh, because, well, then when one demon gone, another one just comes. So how many of them is it, and how many of them do I need to be controlling so as to protect the good? You know what I mean? Because it's always going to be demons, no matter how many you destroy. So then what is the next step? Is it to ignore them? Is it to run from them? No, it ain't. You know, you got to be smart like David was, the father of Solomon. That nigga sick of picked up a pebble, nigga. You understand? Not a spear. Okay? A pebble with a slingshot. Nigga use the elements to use momentum. Right? Then think about it. Just say, you know what? You know what I mean? I call on the power of God. You know what I mean? To make whatever possible that need to be possible. And that's the point. Like whatever's possible is already got a structure to it. The potential of it is the probability of it is the possibility of it. Right? So if it's possible, then it's possible for a reason, as I always say. It's possible for a reason. And it's in the reasoning that you find the wisdom, right? Because you can always lean upon your own understanding. But the wisdom is already in it, and that it exists to begin with. Now, you may not already be familiar with that, but through your, of course, protecting the possibility of things and respecting the honor of a higher divine order, yes? Because who are you to destroy a demon if you ain't make the demon, for one? Okay? These are entities beyond the realm of human association, and so they're there for a reason. They're there with a purpose, or with a defined sort of fucking usage, right? To begin with, amongst humans, that's where that interest would originate. You understand, as we were talking about, yes, because it's possible for a reason. Is it so that you can get wives? Well, as we said, that had nothing to do with it. Even his wisdom was no match against his ignorance when it came to, you know what I'm saying, his opposite sex, the opposite sex, you know? You feel me? That is, none of them demons he controlled didn't stop him from being foolish. You know what I mean? Taking a chance and not, you know what I mean? With all his wisdom, he still took some of the wrong chances when it came to them girls. Right? Now with the same chance again, would he make the same choice? But shit, even with his wisdom and knowing that he did wrong or did bad, whether it was wrong or not, he did bad. Right? He harmed himself. However he harmed himself, so as to weaken his majesty as the wisest, richest king ever. Right? I had a point. You felt it. Even in his wisdom, right? None of them demons could help him maneuver through those decisions. Oh, there it was, as far as the decision. Oh, and leaving the option open, right? You feel me? Would he do it again? But shit, ain't no telling. It depends on the situation at hand at the moment, cuz. Would he do it over? We said he did it already the first time, and if he didn't do it the way he did it the first time, he wouldn't know what he do know. And what he do know about it, does it even make a difference? A different time? Apparently, maybe. Because it's the wisest man ever to exist, cuz. So that's the point as far as lying and telling the truth, protecting the truth, and protecting your lies. And how that open up them gates or seal those gates so as to infuse into the next opening through your wise arranging. You know what I'm saying? Now, wherever that involves the opposite sex or doesn't, shit, I mean, you know what I mean? That could be related or not. As far as them 72 hours though, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You take it how you want to. Right? Because even through the sound, right? Through the sound, whatever thought that comes to mind is going to be sound, vibration, energy, power. POWERREWOP. As a demon might say to you, demon might say, rewop. And you'd be like, oh snap, if you ain't ready, nigga, you don't understand it. This motherfucker's speaking mirror, and he just said power to you. Might say, rewop. And you'd be like, oh snap, if you ain't ready, nigga, you don't understand it. This motherfucker's speaking mirror, and he just said power to you. But if you transparent, you know what I'm saying, shining like the soul, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not clouded by these different coverings and shrouds, which are disguising the truth. For whatever reason, you might have to put a mask on. You understand? But the demon in itself is that mask that you will put on in whatever situation. Right? As far as if you hear rewap, you might be ready to speak whatever else response, so as in truth to diffuse the falsity that is being presented, as well as attempted to be enforced as word. Because sound is sound, and word is word. Word. And a thought are not necessarily words just yet, until you decide within your mind, whether subconsciously or involuntarily or not, what words you gonna assign to those sounds, which are thoughts. You can't think nothing without hearing it in your mind. Even if you ain't hearing the inaudible sound, right? That's a subconscious thought, right? It's still sound. It's still sound. You having subconscious thoughts right now in reference to the thoughts that you are consciously having, that you first of all ain't even said yet out loud, that you might have not even conformed or structured into whatever other words so as to describe to yourself what it is that you're exactly thinking. Because you can be thinking something, but until you relate it to yourself, you're thinking many things. So you're thinking there's 72 sides to the thought that you're having before you decide exactly how it is you want to explain it to yourself. And each explanation is composed of different words / thoughts, which you got. These nigga words are now thoughts about a thought. Because you ain't said it out loud, so how can it be a word? It's still a thought, but it's nigga in word fucking form still, nigga. But these words now are describing the thought you're having. Yes? But they are technically in the nature of a thought still now, because you ain't said it out loud, so they can't necessarily be a word unless you write it the fuck down or say it. But it's still all sound, cuz. And that's the seal. Those are the seals of those sounds. You can't control what happened until you start controlling your reaction. Right? And that's the first to the 72nd. Right? After 72 hours, nigga, you're going to have another cycle, nigga, and whatever come before you, nigga, where you take it, it's now, nigga, strengthening those seals or not. You understand? You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to where it is that you are required to respond, to make a response, an explanation, denote a mention, basically. Like I said, you got to choose wisely as to what you include and what you omit. Even in your occlusion, you're omitting, like I said, 72 other sides of the ways you could have even expressed what it is that you're saying, regardless of the language you're speaking. Regardless if it's English and it's 20,000 words for the same word and shit. Already. By no coincidence, nigga. This is the fact, cuz. This is what you have to realize when she say, what do you want to do? And you lie and don't say, I want to bang you. Up against this wall. Or you forget because you distracted because you don't want to have to say that. Even though, nigga, you shouldn't have to say that. Or not say it. But if it's not said, huh? What? In one of the 72 creative ass marvelous fucking, you know what I'm saying? Arrangements of ways that it can be, nigga, presented and confirmed or not. My nigga, within the 72 hours before another 72 hours, nigga. Let alone 72 seconds, nigga, and another 72 seconds. Huh? Is the part? No, part of the part. Kind of. Perhaps. So whatever it is you're saying and not saying, it's being said regardless. And it's about what you are going to say in response, or not say in response. It's about your response, basically. It's about your diffusing. It's your rebuttal, right? You know what I'm saying? Like your conversation, basically, that you're having with sound. That is life. Life is life. Your actions are louder than words, right? They gotta be sound to be louder than words, nigga. The action gotta be sound to be louder than a word. A word ain't nothing but sound. But it's also active, yes? Yes. Huh? It gotta at least be sound, whether it's a word or not. If it's louder. No? That's the part. I'm gonna leave you alone today, girl. I'm gonna leave you alone. But no, I was thinking about, like, though, you know what I mean? We have these, you know what I mean? We have these fucking little windows, bro. We have these windows. And you can crack them and leave them fucking open for whatever type of fucking spirit, evil or malevolent or benevolent, to slide in or out of that fucking cracked window, nigga. Or you can seal that window, nigga, and lock that shit and keep that key in your fucking pocket to protect what's outside and inside that window, cuz it's not always our fault. We don't realize that, first of all, it's for us in front of this window. It may not even be our window for us to be closing or opening, but it's in front of us, so we got to make that decision. And we got the keys regardless. You look at you, and that's the whole thing about that magic pocket, right? Which is thought. That magic pocket is that thought. You reach into that pocket, you can pull out any key. If I was to be asked what I could do, that'd be my ability that I would ask for. I say I would want to have a key to anything. I would not even that. I would want to be able to reach into my pocket and pull out anything I need. If I had one wish, right? If I had any ability, nigga, this would be my mutant ability, nigga, as an X-Men, right? This is what we used to say, nigga, with me and my brother Joe and them, and my cousin Rob, and all the homies too, nigga, the non-fiction, the block, we used to call the block. All my homies, man, all my niggas, man, all the big, you know what I'm saying? Mad heads, bro. I don't even want to go down the line of names, bro. All the homies, man. I don't want to act like I'm forgetting about it. I'm just not that. I gotta think of like all who was in the mix, like my close niggas, man. You know Addison. I ain't gonna not say Addison. But yeah, man, we used to say, what would be your mutant power? Nigga, I'll be able to nigga reach into my pocket, nigga, pull out anything I need at any given moment. You never know when they come in handy, bro. It's like a MacGyver type, feel me? Ability type, you feel me? Special miracle magic type thing. You could be on a boat. Oh snap, nigga, we done dropped the oar, nigga, we stuck, nigga. Reach into your pocket, pull out an oar. Let me reach into my pocket, pull out one of these canoe oars, man, so we ain't got to be stranded on this river, man. Hold on, let me go into my pocket. I mean, you know, something simple. You know what I mean? You might need anything out your pocket at any given moment, and it will be good to be able to have it there for you to go in and retrieve it from about your pocket. That would be my mutant power, you know? I can't think of nothing else. I mean, at the same time, I can have whatever else, but that's all gonna lead to me be able to have what I need when I need it. I would like to have magic pockets is what I would like to have. I would like to have magic pockets is what I would like to have. I decided long ago with all the homies. If you don't believe me, you can call them up and ask them. As far as Solomon and wisdom and demons, you gotta be wise. The wise thing is not always the most obvious thing. It's not always the most evident thing. You know what I mean? It's the most prevalent at the end of the day after it's all said and done. Said and done, not done and not said. And not said and not done. but said and done. Once whatever is said and done, whatever is said is going to be related to whatever action or inaction. And until that action is now completed and confirmed and performed, the word is only so, quote unquote, holy. The word is only so fucking activated, basically, or sealed or open or closed, basically, as far as the power of that word, the true power of it. Yes, the rewap of it. You understand me? Now, as far as like action, done and said, after it's done and said, it's still prevalent wisdom in it, right? But the wisdom is there before and after. You understand? Before whatever's said, before whatever's done, while and afterwards, during and afterwards. Okay? Because why? Because in the beginning was the word, yes, which is the wisdom of God, yes. But even before the word was always the word, yes. So it's like whatever's done is always gonna come back to that sound, which is word is sound. No, how you got a word without sound? Well, shit, that's them thoughts. Okay, regardless though, them thoughts are still sound. You follow me? Fantastic, man. What would your mutant power be though? You feel me? Don't be trying to steal mine. I thought of it first. All right, magic pocket. That's what I need. Anything. I mean, you feel me? My pockets is deep enough. I could pull a whole house out of my pocket. Nigga, they magic. But why not just build a house with tools I pull out of my pocket? You feel me? I need a hammer. Shit, I need a hammer. I need a fucking saw. I pull out of my pocket. Okay? There's wood everywhere. I don't need to pull it out of my pocket. I need to just fucking pull whatever out of my pocket to drive to where I need to go get the wood. You feel me? Whatever I need to exchange for that wood, which why would the fuck would I need anything to exchange for wood? Wood, God made wood from out the earth. I can go where the wood is at, collect the wood. If I need to transport it in whatever type of vehicle, shit, I can build that too. I'm gonna need them tools to do that. I can fucking build the tools from whatever's on the earth. I don't need to go into my pocket. I don't want to waste my magic, and that's the point also what I'm saying. Okay? I can always come up with the perfect thing to do or say when it's already done and said is the part. Okay? Now how wise am I going to be to even go into my pocket and crack that seal or not? And leave that window cracked open until whatever else transpires within whatever the amount of time. Whether it be 72 hours, 72 days, 72 years. Right? That's what I'm saying. That's them options. And that's even the degree of honesty, you feel me, and transparency. Okay? Because you can be honest about somebody, or what all are you saying and what you're saying, and what all are you not saying and what you're including, what it is your response is. Right? Whether it's an action or actual term or description. Right? Either way, it's still happening. Whether you evade it or fucking translate it. You know what I mean? Towards your benefit, which your true benefit would be the benefit. It's its own magnificent magnitude to begin with. It's you activating that, you actualizing as well as aligning with the magnitude that it already exists in whatever it is that you would be using to your benefit. It's its true benefit to you and whoever else is now involved with it, because see, anything outside of yourself is going to involve other things or people, and even in those people, other things within whatever people in the relation between you and that person was the part. As far as sound and control and wisdom and all that extra shit. You understand? As far as solo man and all that extra other shit. No? Yes, I think. Maybe? Can't say. But there's a way to know. Okay? Okay? And it's gonna be them confirmations through those entities, which we all are receptive to. Okay? You know, it's difficult because we don't be knowing what to say and what not to say, and how much of it to say and not and save. But like I said, that window's cracked. You know what I mean? You nigga like me, if I see a window, I'm breaking the window. I'm crushing, collapsing the window. I don't like windows around me. Okay? If I see a window, I'm turning it to a wall. I'm gonna reach into my magic pockets and I'm about to build over that fucking window, nigga. And it's not even gonna be necessarily just a wall, but it's like, I don't know. I don't want to be just like trapped in a fucking room without no windows when I could just have a key to open it whenever I need it. But it's like, then I gotta stay attentive to when whatever it is I need to open it and seal it. I'm not in the room is the whole part, is what I'm saying. I'm not gonna be inside whatever the fuck a window would be on. You dig? So if I see a window, that's just gonna reveal to me whatever structure, so as to I guess I could just scan the whole structure, whatever the building is, for different windows and doors, and make sure I got the keys in my pocket, my magic pocket. Because I'm on the premises. If there's a window in front of me, that means I'm on the premises. Whose premises is it? Shit, and who all is sharing the premises? You know what I mean? And who all is trespassing, and who all is, you feel me, residences in this particular premises? But shit, I gotta leave them windows where they at in order to kind of see that, make sure I got my keys, and I gotta share the keys, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what Solo Man did. He probably didn't share the keys. He was trying to hold the keys to himself when, you know what I mean, it was supposed to have been at least 72 other freaks that had copies to the keys. But then you can't trust no breezy, no skeezer just with that type of, you know what I mean, force. You feel me? It's just interesting. You know, he was a prototype. You know, he's schematic. Pioneer. I don't know about the windows. That's another something to develop. Right, because you just got to be careful. It's just that you got to be careful. You know what I mean? And pick and choose. You know, like I said, sometimes it's the same keys. You might have the same key that you keeping open that go to a key that you ain't gonna decide, right? Because once you agree to keep it open for whatever reason, whether it involves somebody else or not, now you haven't even said if you're going to close it, you know, or wait to see for whatever reason when you can be sure if you want to sell it. You just said, I'm going to leave it open because I want this window to flow for whatever reason. What that mean, I don't know. Then you got another type of key where for sure you want to close that and move on to something that's actually real. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a danger to the contents of whatever it is your temple is. That's the whole point. That's false or not false. If it's universal, if it's neutral, then of course it's up to you. You're gonna keep it open, or if you're gonna keep it neutral, you're gonna keep it undecided. You know, you might want to open. Like I said, just because I destroy windows and turn on the wall, sometimes I bust the whole wall down. If it's something outside the window that I like, shit, I'll bust the wall down, right? Sometimes you see the window so as to move the window to where you can get more of a better view of whatever's outside that window, especially if it's real, if it's truth. Then, you know, sometimes you want to knock walls down that whatever window would be on. You gotta have a wall to have a window, right? Or you can turn the whole fucking wall into a window, right? And not even open it, you know, it don't open or close, it's just a window. It's just, you feel me? It's letting whatever light in and whoever can see into whatever room it would be that you're looking out of. And you can see it from outside of the room into whatever it is fuller, right? And, you know, that's that barrier there, but it's like you kind of in it, but you ain't. Because of course, open is silence and not confirming. Whereas the close would be changing from it being open to interpretation, sealing it, through confirmation of the truth or not. And that's locking it, but just because you close it don't mean you gotta lock it, Just because you say something don't mean it has to be the full truth. But as long as it's not a lie, then of course you're not propping it open. Window is a window. If you don't destroy the window, you completely destroy the window. And that's of course the last word until whatever development or until further notice, basically. And then of course there are times where silence is more true than to say anything. This is just as an analogy. But you have to be, you have to concern yourself with the possibilities, with the aspects, with the components, with the particulars. And that's where that wisdom comes in. It's going, It may sound like a lot of thinking, a lot of extra, including or analyzing or consideration or configuring or calculating. But it's not really. It comes down to those nuances, and you either denying them or acknowledging, basically. Not necessarily even just acknowledging, but not ignoring them. It's one thing to ignore or deny, but it's another thing to, like I said, just leave it open or closed. Like, make a mental note of it, put that key in that other pocket, as opposed to saying, oh, well, I'm going to seal this off because I'm here, the window's there, and I'm going to seal it no matter what. It has to do with your inclination, because we are a way that we are, but we got that way away. And the way that it is for us to be, that we have the potential to grow towards or change into, is going to take a particular sequence, step by step. And those are those windows. If you close the window, then it's going to take you taking that key and opening it back up. If you keep it open, then of course, then you're going to have to be, that's then now a part of you that is exposed and open to visitation from whatever other outside of yourself that now determines what's going on in your life. You feel me? And that's the idea of inside and outside and windows, right? Because solo, you are yourself. You are an individual, a solo man. Yes. However, we living in this world that is in the hands of the wicked one, right? Who is the leader of all of these different fucking evil entities. No. So as far as just these decisions, these openings, yes, and these exchanges, these encounters, basically, you can't avoid that. It's not for you to avoid, it's for you to decide on consciously and wisely, which wisdom takes awareness. Then awareness of where your keys is at and where your windows is at. And that's all I have to keep up with if you enclose every window. Yeah. Right? Because the window's there for what? Why? Because, okay, you're not part of the world. However, there's nothing outside of yourself. It's the whole part too. Except for, of course, what it is that is confused, other than your, and I guess you could say, influence. Aside from whatever else is confused, other than in regards to just your influence, right? Whether it have to be it's got to do with an occurrence, an event, a reality that existed before you even being born, or if it has to do with another person, if it's connected to, larger ideas, including whatever else is also automatically involving more of yourself, which is you are everything and everything is you, but it's like different parts that you have to realize that you are not necessarily always connected to, that is necessary to factor in when it comes to your encounter with that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say you just have to be conservative. You have to be conscientious in the decisions that you're making, in the thoughts that you are reverting to. As long as your game is strong, you won't go wrong. Just always know the players change. The game remains beyond the player. The stronger your game, the more keys your chain can hold. But don't be playing with no work. In the thoughts that you're reverting to, in respect to what it is that you find before you in your life. You can stay in this one room and have one key, nigga. But that's not wise to do. That's not wise. That's unwise to do. No, I'm not going to, it's not for me to say why that's unwise. But just entertain or just consider the fact that I could be correct in saying that. And what that would mean. And that would mean what? You know what I'm saying? Nigga, making your rounds. You're not just in your house by yourself. You know what I mean? All your ancestors is a big party, bro. You know what I mean? You are everything and everyone. At least to the respect that you are who you are in whatever aspects. Enough. You know, to where now when you fucking are transitioning from whatever room or area of this particular temple that is you, it's not only just you, it's the other yous, right? It's all of the yous that are in everyone else, basically. You feel me? Whether you met them or not, when you meet them, then when you have eye contact, my nigga, then you're connecting to the you within them, and they're connecting to the them within you. That's that God energy, right? You know, what's dwelling in Solomon's temple? God's love and life, and light is inside of that temple, right? The very consciousness making you is God itself. God is consciousness, no? And God is everything. And God is everything. Especially energy. Because everything is energy, no? At least. To start off with, that's the first key, is energy, no? You know what I'm saying? So, God is also a table, God is love, God is, you know, fucking justice, a frog, the clouds, you know what I mean? Anything you can name, but all of those is going to be energy, my nigga. So as far as naming and sound and words and association and structure and mathematics and cycles, you can't go anywhere outside of that base form, that base energy, that base association. Yes, that first window, right? I'm gonna knock that wall down, right? Because I wanna be able to see more than just this window of this energy, nigga. You feel me? I might even swallow that key, nigga. I don't need that key no more. Right? I'm gonna let that flow. This is the room you can find me in the most, the energy room. But this energy room is connected to all the other rooms. This is the center, right? This could be likened to the fucking den of the house or whatever, the family room or whatever, right? You feel me? It's like every room connects and returns to this particular room that has a window on it. You can seal it. You can open it. You can keep it open and closed. You can share it with it to where you might go into that room and the window closed. But that's, you cool with that because, shit, it don't matter if it's open or closed. You know where your key is at. And And what is the energy? And what is the energy of truth? What is the energy of the truth? It's recognizable. You know, it's recognizable. What is the energy of the truth? Right? That's something, you know, I wouldn't imagine Solomon, the wisest man, ever needed to lie about nothing. I wouldn't imagine Solomon, the wisest man, ever needed to lie about anything. You dig what I mean? And that's just what I'm saying. That's that energy, right? That energy, that truth energy. That truth energy. Is power in itself. You know, and it comes from and goes to the same place. Reality in itself, you know? It has different shapes, but it's always changing. It's always molding. It's just whatever shape has been molded from a particular original substance, which is energy in itself. Truth, or rather, whatever form of truth it is that would be recognizable. Whatever shape of the truth would be recognizable is molded from energy in itself, right? Now, which everything is energy, yes, but it's just different patterns of energy, different structures of that same, whatever it is, that is energy. Whatever energy is, which energy is consciousness in itself. Your very thoughts is energy. Yes, and through focus is how you direct energy. Yes. So in lying, you're now deflecting energy. You know what I'm saying? You're redirecting as opposed to now commandeering the energy. You feel me? And aligning it to where now it returned to that same spot, which that's what it will do, being that it is all the same. You're going to come from and go to the same thing, or rather go to and come from the same place. On its way back, it's going to pass wherever it is that you met it at. Feel me? But if you're redirecting it, then that means that it's now got to pass you when it's going to when it should have been coming from. And on that way, then it's now going to be involving other things, everything that it isn't in that it is, as opposed to everything that it is in that it is. You understand? Because it's everything, right? But everything is also nothing. Nothing is a thing. It's a no thing, yes, but it is something in that it is nothing, yes. And that's a lot to keep up with, because there's more things that it isn't than it is. Because it is all one thing, but whatever it isn't is everything. It can be anything. And you give that shit a name, and now you calling it whatever it is, right? Or whatever it is that you want to be able to use it for. You dig? When it is all sound in itself, which sound in itself is vibration, which is consciousness in itself, is light, right? Which is thought. It's the whole part in those decisions, and that's why the decisions are relative, are imperative, right? And you understand, what is your motive? You feel me? In the decision that you're making, what is your intent? Okay, is the main part, is the main lesson. You know what I'm saying? Is the key. What is your intent? Overall intent and a direct immediate intent. And as far as what you understand that immediate intent to involve, as well as the overall universal intent to involve and include, right? Because your immediate and direct intent ideally and wisely should be considering the already established divine overall purpose for whatever decision you're making. Now that takes wisdom in itself. That takes your being honest with yourself and not being dishonest in your decision, right? And that also takes it being clear and being certain. And in order to be certain, that takes being sincere. Okay? That means meaning what it is that you say or do, regardless if it's true or not. Okay? It's how you get to being clear as to what it really is. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that's not true today, or not the facts today, may change, but it's still true or not. You know what I mean? As far as when in your reference to it. Now, you might have whatever reason to not include the full of what the truth is, or the full factual reality of whatever type of interaction or exchange may involve. But just like I said, wisely consider that reason as to whatever reason you have. You know what I mean? Because that's all a game. That's an illusion. It has its place in particular situations, but overall, as far as that universal purpose, it's still a decision. That's presented before you for a reason. And it's not always just for you to be able to do one thing or the next. It's just for you to assess what all is involved with what is done by the time you decide it or don't decide it or whatever. And that takes you, the only way that you're going to be able to keep up with that is if you mean it, is when you're doing things sincerely. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep up with it, because you're going to say, what's it? I mean, you think about what even was possible once it's done or not. Still a possibility, as like I said, and either it became a reality or not. That's been manifested into materialization or not. Now, of course, it's going to take you remembering it and whatever that's going to take reminding you. But as soon as you are reminded, for which everything is going to then connect eventually anyway, wisely, through patience. The first step to wisdom is patience. The first step to wisdom is patience. Okay? Now, it may not make sense now, but if you are, being sensible about it, then you can it'll connect once it needs to. You feel me? So you just gotta understand what it is your intent is, overally and directly. Now, you might be confused as far as exactly what's necessary in this direct objective. As long as you're as honest about that when it is for you to be honest, whether to whoever else or to yourself, then that won't catch you up. And yeah, that's the situation. And you're not going to always be right, but you can always be true to what it is that you would do or wouldn't do. Or not. You feel me? But if you're doing things for show, for image, if you're doing some shit just to say that you did do something, or that you didn't do whatever else, then it's already too many components, my nigga, involved with all things that's going on. And by the time that cycle come back around, nigga, you already gonna be too confused, nigga. It might be smart, but it's very wise. The smartest thing is usually not the most wisest thing. It's the part about wisdom. And by the time that cycle come back around, nigga, you already gonna be too confused, nigga. It might be smart, but it's very wise. The smartest thing is usually not the most wisest thing. It's the part about wisdom. The smartest thing is usually not the most wisest thing. It's the part about wisdom. And how do you tell the difference? Well, you gotta feel through it. Wisdom of the heart. Have to use your intuition when it comes to particular things that would naturally otherwise be smart, but not always the most wise over time. And in the fuller spectrum. And the gap between that is becoming a lot wider because, of course, what's smart is usually the most beneficial, but wisdom is not based on benefit. It's based on benevolence, right? It's based on enrichment. It's based on honor. Is what wisdom is on. Is based on, which is honorable to be opportune, right? To be exacting. To be exacting. Executive. That's honorable. It's honorable to prevail. It's honorable to defend, your truth, which is, I would say defend yourself, defend your family, which that's truth in itself. That's God in itself. God defend himself, truth defend itself. All you could do is align with that, and that doesn't always involve the conventionally smartest thing. And so you just gotta be careful as far as what's smart and what's wise. Wisdom is going to involve that heart feeling, though. Feeling that you can kind of gotta sense it. It's more of a sense than it is than a thought. The wisdom of the heart, a knowing as opposed to a believing or whatever, or thinking about. Now, these thoughts is going to surround that inner knowing, but that inner knowing is that wisdom, right? It's going to come through you acting. Is how you now strengthen that connection to where your thoughts are can automatically involve that knowing if you don't ignore and deny yourself, or rather go against what it is your first mind is too much, to where now you're working against the actions that you took that ended up being wise, whether you felt like they were smart and they ended up being wise. Now you automatically gonna be connected to that wisdom regardless, and that's beautiful. That's a beautiful plus. But if you keep fighting for what's smart because that's what's working, rather even against your inner knowing, which is that wisdom, then that's another action down the line, overall, universally, that you're going to now have to replace in order to re-fortify and retribute and re-strengthen that connection that you already weakened by not doing what it is that you knew to do, or doing what it is that you knew not to do. Even in reference to what it is you're thinking, or decide, because you can decide something and then it still takes you doing it. A decision is not an action. A decision is a activating. It's activating, right? Because you could decide to do something and then don't do it, or you can do it. But that's not the same thing as deciding. Deciding and doing is totally different things. Now, it's interesting where you'll ever do something that you don't decide to do. But you can see, and it might even make more sense, or it might even hit a bit closer to home, in where you can see where you do things that you decided not to do. Right? And so that just goes to show you that you don't always do what it is that you decide to do. And a lot of times we end up doing things feeling like we decided to do it, but even that decision to do it is based on what we didn't necessarily decide for ourselves. Because we're trying to do the smartest thing. And when we feel secure in that it is at least justifiably acceptable, right? As opposed to knowing the best thing to do, questioning and confirming and further confirming through the action, and then allowing yourself then to learn, to grow, and to do whatever else so as to test your confirmation and appreciation of it. Through even doing what it is that you have the opportunity not to do in reference or respects to what it is that you know within, but just because you know it, you could be wrong. Right? You could be wrong. You know that you're not, but you don't know until you can say in whatever type of situation. You don't know that you know. I mean, you know that you know, but you can't say. And no one else could either say if you know or not, until it is, of course, that you don't do and they're able to see what shit. Well, now, if he nigga would have did what he would have regularly did, that probably would have been better. I don't know why he didn't do what he would have regularly did. Maybe it's because I was trying to see if I could kind of, you know what I mean, trap cuz and what it is I know that is in his nature to do. Perhaps that's why he didn't do it, because his sixth sense, his inner knowing, was trying to, of course, you know, honorably protect truth, protect sovereignty, protect, you know, truth. You know, because there's all type of components, different little shit involved. Then you don't have to do nothing. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. But you would never want to do anything that you shouldn't do unless there's already some sort of fucking imbalance. Is the whole part, nigga. About why they even introduced this whole idea of sinning to begin with. And that's where you even get demons from. Right? Because even Satan itself, Satan, it means to resist. Resistance. That's what Satan even is resistance in itself. No? Literally, the accuser. Okay? The adversary. Okay? The adversary, right? What other name is there for this Satan dude? You got the devil, that's a title. Okay? You got Lucifer, that means light in itself. Light bringer, basically. Okay? Which is basically to show, to reveal, basically. But the very name, the very idea of the whole fucking start of anything, this is the fucking chief evil, nigga, chief evil entity, nigga. It's resistance in itself. That's for you to go opposed to what it is that you would do, meaning that you wouldn't do nothing that you shouldn't do. Otherwise, anything that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing is what you wouldn't fucking do. That's why Satan even mean resist. Okay? Now all these other, you know what I'm saying, associated ideas as well as decisions that fall under resistance for whatever confused or convoluted fucking circumstance and situation or explanation. Right? That's what I'm saying, no? It's part of one thing that I'm saying. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing as far as man, I had a great little part that I even hopped back on here for. Yeah, nah, man, I guess, I don't know. It's probably, I'm not going to think of it. And the only reason I even had to record it is because I was about to go and do some editing. And every time I get it to where, even subconsciously, and that's the whole thing, that's another part of what I'm saying too. Like, subconsciously, my brain be saying to myself, I want to record I want to record this idea. Or that I want to record something that I could record that would be good to have recorded. Because, right, like, my heart knows that at any given moment, I can turn on this recorder and say, you know what, and capture a helpful notion. You know what I mean? An insightful sort of comment about something that has to do with art, has to do with life, which art is life. Life is art, at least for me and for everyone else in their own way. And that's the only reason that I would even, you know what I mean, express, or what it is, communicate, right? Communicate slash express, express slash communicate, whatever sorts of approach towards sound in itself. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I have what it is that I would say and how I would say it, but I'm saying all type of other things also, right? And whoever else might hear that, record it at this point. It can be used however whoever else is using it wants to use it, right? If you don't hear nothing else I'm saying, which that's not the reason why I would do it. It's just that at the same time, like I said, within my heart and me being who I am and always active in producing as well as creating regardless, then that's just, you know what I mean, the association. Yeah, no, I know that I can hop on here, but then as soon as I get in a mode where that window's closed, like I open this other application, and right before I'm going to go edit some other fucking content that I can't even use this recorder to do it, I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do it. If I was to choose, I couldn't. So that's when all of these ideas flood. Oh, snap, damn, oh, man, shit, man, I'm supposed to be doing this other shit. Dang. I'm supposed to be doing this other shit. That's as soon as I want to do this other shit that I can always do it anytime I want. But why would I need a time to want it? Right? Why would I need a time to want it? Well, that's that structuring. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily unorganized though. I'm just sporadic and abstract. I'm extremely abstract, or that's one of my strengths, is my abstractuality. That's one of the first songs I recorded. It's called Abstractuality. The verse goes, sometimes I lose focus when it seems hopeless that when doors get closed, a window is opened. Or so I've noticed from those who grow colder from so much exposure, they don't know they're in from up. Out and without a doubt, which is better, like exit to enter. Life depends on time you'd arrive to finish or start to leave. Misty draft drift past sceneries, believe, and you can be free as the leaves. I'll skip the line. I'm gonna start it over. One of the first joints I ever recorded to a Dilla joint, to a Dilla beat, was called Abstractuality, right? The adversary, literally the accuser, or diabolos, meaning devil, the enemy, right? However, just specifically speaking about this entity, resistance, it goes back into another term, right? The original actual name, not only just title, for the prince, quote unquote, prince of darkness, or prince of the dawn, son of the dawn / morning star, slash father of the lie, as is commonly accepted. The father of the lie, of course, yes. You know what I mean? God's favorite, low key. The announcer of God's word in heaven, yes. Before the descend, yes. While we have, of course, the Messiah ascending from earth, we have, of course, the enemy descending to earth, right? But they say the light bringer, yes, which that's not even the actual definition of the etymology of that name, but that's how it's interpreted. That's how it's translated or illustrated, basically, actual terms, the words, the sounds themselves comes from in the language that it is in, is defined as the actual meaning in it was morning star or son of the dawn. And if you think about it, why would they say Lucy was the light bringer? Well, I mean, if you think about it, right? Or the morning star, the son of the dawn, to bring to the first light, basically. Yeah. You gotta understand, right? Like, this is an angelic being. This is not an imperfect person on earth making decisions, because angels make decisions too, right? They have free will as well. But their mind is not tainted by imperfection. And so whatever the resistor would have done was unforgivable. And so now that's why this is forever, this is the forever wrong, basically. They said, Jesus said of this entity, which actually his name is, you can't even say his name, right? I'll spell it, it's SAMAEL. They say to say it, it brings Cuz attention. That's the original actual name of Satan, is Samuel. You understand? Which don't nobody tell you that. But that's what it says in the Jewish literature, which the Bible is Jewish literature. All Bible, even the Catholic Bible with the New Testament in Latin, is an appendix or extension of the original text, which is in Hebrew, which is the Jewish language, or quote unquote Jewish language, right? But you wouldn't have the Jewish without Hebrew, which is a culture, which is the actual creed of people from a particular region, technically, right? But it's all also the start of all written language. Also, Hebrew is in every corner of the earth at this point, and these are the facts. But as far as language and sound and names, as far as the light bringer, you gotta think about it, right? For this dude, this accuser of humankind, because what he was accusing was that humankind in itself was an abomination to God, that humans weren't even worthy to exist. This is what he accused, and in some accounts was thrown out of heaven for this, even though he still had limited access back and forth to heaven whenever, for whatever reason, because he's working with Jah, right? He's working with God, and all of that's going on, even in the account of Job, where this dude even first appears. One of the first appearances of, because in the book of Job, where he's allowed to test Job, because so as this argument, right, this little contest, this bet basically with God, right? This angel is betting God now. Why? Because was one of the first archangels, literally one of the 5 first most eminent beings, eminent creatures, or heavenly bodies, heavenly creatures, basically. But there's no sin in the heaven, like we said, like we began this. There's no sin in the holy. There's no sin in the holy, except for what is chosen purposely for a purpose. Yes, they say you can't have light without darkness, and the prince of darkness was what? The light bringer. What? Hold on. Now, how is that possible? Well, think about it. If you were to think about it, player pimping, and it's not an explanation. You know what I mean? This is a clarification. This is nothing but a
hypothesis.
But a clarification.
Hypothesis.
Of what is said and what is believed, as well as how it pertains to each other and whatever else, right? Because you only got 7 tones, bro. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing new under the sun, but what about above the sun, nigga? The They didn't say outside the sun, which that's what below the sun would mean, would be outside in this material, right? Realm, no. And that's what they speak in there when they even talk about light. Because as we know, as we can appreciate even scientifically, and which I'm sure will be even more emphasized coming up very soon. So pay attention. Sound is consciousness, is light is vibration / frequency. Light and sound, moving waves. The only difference between light and a sound wave is you hear one, you see the other. And that's a whole nother point that I made in another joint. And I don't want to get too off topic going to this too much, but I just already had mentioned about resisting and the inclination. And that all being symbolic for one, as far as referring to the connotation of this simulation that of existence, physical existence, that is, right? Because all physical existence, as we said, is vibration, is energy, yes? Now, energy is not only electromagnetic, but everything in this electromagnetic, okay? Like electric, magnetic, contraction, expansion. Everything, all energy is not only electromagnetic, however, our reference to energy is only in reference to electromagnetic. Aside from, there's only one energy, one light that is not electromagnetic. Okay, now that's that inner light.
Illuminated consciousness, quantum psychic energy, ki or prana energy, 0 point energy.
Right? That's the light that is being beamed from your brain in your synapses. That kinetic energy in your body is called
bioluminescence or biophotonics.
There's a light that's inside of your body. But that's not necessarily what it is that I'm referring to. Because that light in the synapses through neurons is actually can be thought of as electromagnetic, even though they represent a purely psychic function that's happening. What does take place is through particular types of thinking, patterns of thinking, creative thinking, prayer, meditation. The cells of our bodies are, of course, then made harmonically resonant, and that in itself is activating a function and capacity of our DNA, which is unique to the human organism, which connects interdimensionally with the source of all immanent energy. Our DNA, just like our heart has neurons in it, and our stomach has neurons in it, and our brain has neurons in it, just as our thoughts connect, of course, to the collective subconscious and accesses all of energy beyond time and space. And in these synapses, you are emitting literal sound waves from your brain. Our very DNA molecules are a gateway to that realm of undifferentiated potential, basically, beyond even ether, into the higher dimensional realities. Now, this is just something that I would pretty much expect, basically. Nobody got to tell me none of this. As far as defining it in a descriptive terms, then of course it's got a historical classification so as to iterate the structure surrounding how it's been presented, because this is like we said, very, very current. All of this is ultra current, bro. This whole character is current. it's still a little baby, nigga. It's not necessarily naked, because that would be weird. But it's definitely learning. It ain't never took no steps, because it's about that life. It's running through the woods, you feel me? Sipping tequila, unsupervised right now. Right? So, but if you think about it, right? Even in whatever book you read it, brother, it says, in the beginning. Again, now we talking about here in this electromagnetic universe, man, which comes from 7 to 13 emanations of heaven, and in many different cultures, as well as fucking followings, bro. This is the lower level, bro. Right? Oh, and now you can accept, you can identify with that being off limits to you, maybe even your physical body, but for sure not your spirit or your heart or mind and soul, for sure not. Right? And if there are ways through discipline, through wisdom, right? Not heavenly divine wisdom, so to speak, necessarily. However, that's what Solomon represents, is that mortal mind, right? That imperfect brain, and the trials as well as transgressions, systemized wisdom exhibited and experienced through an imperfect man's brain. Now, while the Messiah, who was sinless, right? Sinless, which we talked about sin, and that meaning falling short or doing anything outside of faith. Because if you read the account of Solomon, if I remember correctly, he used his wisdom like magic. He didn't, you feel me? He saw it as kind of like a fucking device, basically. And that's probably why he didn't really even work with it how he should have when it came to, he ended up marrying 1,000 broads. But how wise was it, how unwise exactly was his imperfection, right? Because what was perfection again is balance, of course. Yes. And how do you come imbalanced? Is that other side now being turned against you. That's the whole story of the enemy, the adversary, the accuser in himself, even tempting the first couple, the first perfect people on earth before they became imperfect through whatever transpired and occurred in that analogy, yes. But they was perfect before, even as humans they was in paradise, before this light bringer landed, nigga, right? This is all parts of you, my nigga. Now, I'm not saying it's not whatever else you feel like it is, but this is also what it is. And I stand on that. You know what I mean? Why? Because why not is a better question, right? If you think about it, God is timeless. God is timeless. Infinite. Eternal. So what the fuck is in the beginning? In the beginning of what exactly? What's the word, nigga? The beginning of this situation, it was the beginning. What the beginning of it was with that word, that Hebrew word. Okay, in the beginning. What beginning? God has no beginning or end last time I checked. So how was he anything in what beginning? Oh, well, shit, yeah, maybe this unnamed and unnameable light bringer, which sound is light, would be able to explain it. Not really be able to explain it, but I'm sure Cug got something to say about it for sure, being that he was the first to resist, to accuse. This nigga name is the accuser. But God is the word? But this nigga's an accuser? How you accuse? You gotta say something to accuse anybody. You cannot accuse anybody of anything without words, whether you say it or write it, nigga. Unless you point it. And even then, you're gonna have to ask as to exactly what it is the fuck you pointing at and what for. And you're gonna have to explain that with words, fam. You gotta explain that shit with sound, nigga. Simple as that. As basic as that, right? Why was God the Word? Because now we're talking about materially, bro. This is in reference to the way back out of course, the mix-up, you know, and it's gonna be through speech, which is your thoughts. It's the words. You think in words at this point, but we didn't always think in words. Perhaps we wasn't thinking even in the context of sound or light, right? It was more so that interdimensional, that outer dimensional, ultra dimensional essence, the original, the origin of divine wisdom. To leave. Misty draft, drift past, seen the reeds, believe, and you can be free as the leaves. I'll skip the line. I'ma start it over. One of the first joints I ever recorded to a Dilla joint, to a Dilla beat, was called Abstractuality, right? Which is actuality, but abstractuality. You know what I'm saying? Actualization. Abstractualization. I need to be the remix. You know what I'm saying? Maybe to a Doom beat. I did another song on a Doom beat. I did another fucking recording on. I got mad recordings. That's the whole point. Like, them shit is already out. Now I got, you feel me? I can't help it if I was to have to be able to, you know what I mean? Reconfirm some shit just in case you niggas want to get shit misconstrued, you feel me? By resisting what it is they feel in their heart, but they don't have that window, right? The window's closed or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? Or they done lost their key or whatever. Or niggas stole their key or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, I mean, it was funny, and I'm gonna try to remember it verbatim right now, bro. Because what's funny is I did not get on here to even kick that verse, but that verse, nigga, is completely appropriate for all that I'm saying, nigga. All that I'm saying, nigga, in this last fucking 2 hours, nigga, I'm wrapping up with this first fucking verse that's the whole part I'm saying to you, cuz. That's the whole part I'm saying to you. I was as transparent and, nigga, wisely non-biased in what I chose to piece together out of all that I can say, brother. In that one particular example of composition, of expression. And that is my MO. And that's why what I'm here to represent, as well as protect. Through light, like solo man. No? Yes. Not to say I'm like Solo Man. You know what I mean? Because I ain't finna get thwarted by these thatchos. Okay? Solo Man is Solo Man. Solo Man is a Solo Man. Me, I'm the one. Different. Similar, but abstract. My joint, I can't believe I remembered it. Right? Because it was like ages ago. This is at least over 10 years ago, nigga. Which that's like, okay, whatever, fuck it, I don't, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's never whatever, because I'm not finna steal no shit into a published actual, you know what I'm saying, signaturized entity, my nigga, and not have it be honoring all of art and fucking everything, nigga. You shouldn't either. But none of us do. I'm not saying what I'm gonna do that you're not gonna do. I'm saying I see it. I see that in what you're attempting, my nigga. But you trying to be smart by having it be palatable as well as absorbable as well as applicable and you know what I mean, entertaining, and that's cool, that's dope. But it's a fine line. It really is a fine line. It's a fine line. And when you get to some of the most illest shit, It's always able to do both. I'm not also entertaining because that's just not my interest, basically my motive. It really ain't. I give a fuck if you like it or not, to be honest. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it for you. I'm saying it for me and God, to be honest. And for the ladies listening to it. You know what I mean? And whoever. I'm for my niggas. For Dilla himself. Out of respect for Dilla himself, bro. Is why I kicked that shit that I did. Because Dilla's such an inspiration to me. And I don't be trying to think of lyrics. But ones that I do think of, I'll be like, yo, like, they gotta be artful, bro. They got to be polished, nigga. They got to be abstract. Like the Dilla was abstract. And they be. You feel me? For what it is that I'm going to decide on what it is exactly that it is, for sure. Because I can always freestyle some shit. I can freestyle to the same beat, make it 20 different times. I can freestyle to the same beat, make it 20 different times. 20 niggas, 100 different ways to the same beat. 20 niggas, 100 different ways to the same beat. This is another part of what I'm saying, no? That abstractuality. I'm going to try to remember this joint, yo. I'm going to try to remember this joint, bro, word for word. It's just so crazy how it actually fits the whole shit I'm saying. You know the shit, they go, you heard this joint by me? It's kind of cool. I didn't rap it perfectly, but I did do it in the first few takes, so I feel good about that. It was better than it would have been if I would have did it 20 takes and still didn't have it how I liked it. In the first three to four takes, maybe even 2 takes, I was like, it's not horrible. You know what I mean? I wasn't recording myself then either, and I didn't edit it myself either, so it was a whole lot more natural. You know what I mean? So it goes. At times, I lose focus when it seems hopeless that when doors get closed, a window is opened, or so I've noticed, from those who grow colder, from so much exposure they don't know they're in from up, down, and without a doubt which is better. Like, cause a window can go up and down or side to side, right? Down and without a doubt. I'm gonna start from the top, cause I know your mind is blown right now. At times, I lose focus. This is to a J Dilla beat. JD, James Yancey, the legend, the God. At times, I lose focus. From Slum Village, of course, if you ain't up on it. At times, I lose focus when it seems hopeless that when doors get closed, a window is opened, or so I've noticed, from those who grow colder, from so much exposure, they don't know they're in from up, down, and without a doubt, which is better. Like exit to enter, life depends on time. You'd arrive to finish, or start to leave. Hardly seems part of the scheme to freeze, so bundle up. Muster muscle enough to... Oh, I fucked up because I had rocked off the rhythm. I was just so happy I remembered that little part I had left out before. I had got excited. Like exit to enter, life depends on time. You'd arrive to finish or start to leave. Hardly seems part of the scheme, a theme to freeze. So bundle up, muster up, muscle enough to lift off, get on or get lost in the breeze. Misty drafts drift past sceneries. Believe and you can be free as the leaves we need, or the heat the leaves need to be green. All for even me to see. That is, when I could breathe at ease, without weed or nicotine. Probably peep some different shit to read, at least weave into the lead of my own lane. In a race against shame, still out of place from days I spent racing the wrong way. I take a long gaze and zone, amazed that shade shone over, fade as if not to know pain. As if not to know pain. So sane, on plane with both brains. My way of thought just soul trains. The engine that could, chief, because you feel me, the little engine that could, which is a train. The engine, right, which that's your soul, is your engine, but also your brain is your engine, your mind. The engine that could, chief, but would seek, understood meekness as each speaking Indian should, like oceans to beaches, deepness, for roots to be sinked in, and truth proven as reason can hopefully keep fixed the seasick in the mix with the misfits and mischievous. My sixth sense enriched dispenses insignificance and imminence dispensed as increments of bliss represents different instances for me to make attempts as I take a glimpse to witness this out that window. And yo, Solomon's Champo now. Give it up, hip hop, hip hop. You wanna hear it again? Go pick up that little joint. It's not really available. I'm gonna just kick it to you. Nah, it's alright. You probably heard it. I think I fucked up. I'm gonna try to see if I can do it without fucking up. At times I lose focus when it seems hopeless.
The most definite, the most absolute. We speaking of the 0 point energy, that literal key. Experts will even say, as of recent, divine consciousness. The source of all animation, which is omnipresent, which is non-centralized, non-localized life, generally, beyond this dimension. It is an interdimensional, upper, extra dimensional, before the material realm, or rather where the material realm emanates from. It is 0 point gravity, being that it is the very concentration of gravity, which electromagnetic energy, which is subject to entropy, which means that it will basically wither or decrease or slow down or has a limit, basically. This other energy, the only other energy, which there's only one of two sorts or forms of energy. As I said, all energy is electromagnetic to a certain extent, because that is what material, that's what matter is quote unquote electromagnetic. However, that's only one way that matter is illustrated or that is exhibited in the three-dimensional realm. Now, the next dimension from 3D would be without time or space, beyond it, basically. Not necessarily without it, but all-inclusive, and also whatever else that doesn't make it so necessary, right? Because being that it's all omnipresent, which means that it's everywhere and instantly, as well as infinite. It's instantly infinite and infinitely instant. It's always present. It just has to be concentrated on, focused on. It has to be conjured, basically, through whatever type of function. And that is through motion. And that is what time and space gives you, is that motion. And that is the kinetic energy that is happening, right? But kinetic energy is communicated or expressed through a particular category of ways, that being thermal, radiant, which is the emanation, the strobing pulse of in and out, or centrifugal or centripetal motion, basically, or activity in whatever direction, and that's that vibration. But the frequency is the wavelength, because this energy is kinetic energy, which is either electromagnetic, which includes pretty much everything, but then you also have motion in itself. But motion is basically what directs whatever expression of kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is motion in itself, basically. But that motion is activating this 0 point energy, right? Which is consciousness in itself, which is the source of all consciousness, which is omnipresent everywhere at once, the unified field, so to speak, right? It's another name for it. It's also referred to as quantum energy, right? It's literal key energy. But see, what's interesting about key energy is it's your thoughts, but it's also the air you're breathing. It is, as far as your body is concerned, because what's crazy about this, what has been now termed by Nikola Tesla, scalar waves, which is that scalar energy, which they try to say scalar, they got scalar light and scalar sound, but that's not even necessarily possible because it's really just a reference to the real scalar energy, which is non-manifest, omnipresent, everywhere. Basically, the source of movement and motion and action, and its very nature and origin of instance/occurrence. It's what gives the stars their light, but once the stars have already been activated and that focused concentration of an instance is decided or activated or initiated through whatever sorts of magnetism. See, electromagnetic energy, as I heard another expert say, should really be termed magneto-electric energy because it is the very magnetism, which is the gravity that even directs and structures the electricity, which the electricity in itself is even just the pattern or frequency or function of the electrons, right? And that is a different category of kinetic energy, which is movement, right? Electrical energy in itself. And radiant energy, which is electromagnetic, which is both, because it's, like I said, emanating out and in, centrifugal and centrifugal. Then you got the sound energy, which is basically pressure, you know what I mean? And compression of waves in waveform. Mostly closely tied to the vibration as opposed to the frequency, because it has to do with that gravity as well. But the gravity has now been not compressed, but not necessarily transformed, but translated. Sound is the movement of energy through substances in compression where refraction waves is produced when a force causes an object or substance to vibrate. Whatever force that is, that's that, not necessarily kinetic force, but through kinetic distribution, that 0 point unified field / key / divine consciousness / scalar wave energy that basically activates a force through vibration. The sound. Now, the frequency is the wavelength of whatever the decision is, whatever the focus is that brought it from that dimension into this dimension. And that's all happening even just through our own breathing and thinking. Because what's cold about that scholar energy or that 0 point energy is our DNA actually makes it. It creates it. And it's capable of receiving it if tuned in with that particular frequency. Because this is higher dimensional. You know what I mean? DNA is more than just a storage unit. It's a quantum antenna which sends and receives data / direction / instructions. It has access to a vast pool of info outside the three-dimensional association materially. Electromagnetic waves, which exist only in the vacuum of empty space, which
That vacuum is that gravity source, window, pocket, basically, of oscillation. Then you get now this expansion of you know what I mean, of space, basically. You know, and space is nothing, basically. It's also energy as well. It's like a background in it. It's not necessarily empty. The emptiness is that hole that's coming from out of that unified field. Vacuum is really interesting. It's kind of weird. That vacuum, electromagnetic waves, exist only in a vacuum of empty space, constituting an ocean of infinite energy called scalar energy. Now, kinetic energy is the very motion that decides what is done and how whatever movement returns back to that field, that other dimension, because it comes into this dimension to return to that dimension in one sense or the next, right? Now, our thoughts, or that the energy in our body, bioluminescence or biophotonics, which you also have sonoluminescence, which happens underwater. You have light that is created underwater through pressure. That's happening in our body, like in our synapses through neurons, right? That's not electromagnetic necessarily. Okay, that in itself is kinetic energy through motion. Electromagnetic light is already in reference to an alternate or exterior form of point of gravity, whether it be that black hole, right? It's already existing, and it's got its own direction and assignment. Whether it's a planet, whether you know it's another star somewhere, because stars revolve around each other. And in focusing or circulating kinetic energy, we are distributing literal gravity leveled from magnetism before that electric, because we got electrons in every atom that makes up every molecule of every cell. But then our cells have that DNA in it, which is connected to that 0 point energy, which can actually create it, right? And it's activated and then links all back through the functions of that breath and those thoughts. That's why levitation is a real thing. That's why you know what I mean? You're going to find magnetite crystals in our brain, right? It's as so to activate that quantum psycho-spiritual vision. But, you know, so we're talking about chi energy. Is that energy that's not electromagnetic. And chi energy, or prana, is thought or focus, force, or charge. But it's also the structuring and the harmonizing of our breath with our thoughts and our thoughts with our breath. You know, you think about harmony and then you think about resonance. As far as resonance is concerned or whatever, that chi energy activates the DNA in our cells to where our cells resonate. You know, and that is the functions of the very organs of our body. It's the very organizing of the kinetic energy within our body. Yeah. So when you see a star, right? That's basically a broadcast or a performance of kinetic energy, which is movement, which can be illustrated or distributed through heat or electromagnetic, or rather radiant energy, which is like something like, you know, gamma waves, or basically waves, or traverse wave. It's energy that travels in traverse waves or whatever. Or sound, which is all really the same thing. It's just on different levels. All of these are present in any movement within the three-dimensional material realm. You're not going to have electricity without no sound, even if you can't hear it. If you got close enough to some electricity, you hear that buzzing.
you know, and electricity is moving and that the electrons are already activated and circulating, right? And now that very energy in itself, which may even be light energy, which would be that thermal energy and radiant energy, because that's what light is, it's radiant energy. But electricity is hot. So it's all of these. But it's only because it's the movement. And like I said, that's that performance, basically. That's what you're seeing, is a broadcast of 0 point energy performing in this dimension. You know, and it's all connected. You gotta remember the physical brain is an interface. You know, the gift of mentality to concentrate the mind is what tunes into the great truth of that boundless power. You know, through which that is being the mind or psychic experience and activities create a connection to an advanced function in higher dimensions. The electromagnetic field created by our brains, this is what I was going to mention to you. The electromagnetic field, because our brain, that kinetic energy, that light, those synapses, and those sparks of synapses are electromagnetic in the fact that it's material. But through those synapses via neurons, that then through a remote and psychic aligning and arrangement and direction makes each cell in our body resonant, with which each DNA structure reinforcing that field that utilizes the kinetic composition, which is the motion. You know? Which that's all kinetic energy is, but you do get kinetic light in certain instances, is what I'm saying. But that inner light is basically a psychic, metaphysical, quantum light. It's the light of consciousness, right? Thoughts or thought power in motion or animated is that imagination. Literally, conscious light, animated thought is now illumined as this, you know, and that's what they say, that why they say the will to be aligned with the divine will. The divine will is the omnipresent gravity force that then is now basically connected to, you know, that you're sending. If you're in that frequency, you're going to be emitting from the very DNA in all of your cells, quite literally. All of us on Earth are connected through a collective consciousness. Every thought and emotion that you have affects every person on Earth. It is said on the same information that with the right focus, humans in their right coherent mind basically harmonized like a laser. And these aren't my words, this is something I read, even though I had just said that. They can even affect the weather. Our thoughts and emotions affect all people, right? And in this process of this quote unquote scholar waves, right? Our DNA creates these waves and is capable of receiving the same waves. And in this process, no information is lost or entropied or decays or wasted through this super advanced technology, which is within and inside our very cells. And you got to remember also and keep in mind, every cell contains that water, right? Which is that memory, right? Which that's that collective memory as well. That is the waters of Newsflash, Akashic records that I was mentioning at the onset. And the seed is what? Is the very kinetic energy, the movement of your thoughts.
The regulation of your breath.
Okay. Because you're going to spark a bridge through the very kinetic energy of your breath via your cells. And that's just crazy. I was trying to think to myself, is there any light that's not electromagnetic? And now what's cold is like in the mainstream, they're trying to push this scalar light and sound when that's not possible. Why? Because scalar is of another dimension.
And anytime it's within this dimension to where we would experience it or interface with it, first of all, we're already doing that automatically, right? So whatever sound is basically just tweaked to where it's going to enhance that already natural process. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But whatever light you will be seeing, that scalar light, now it's all the visible light you can see, but it's really how you collect it. You know what I mean? And also tune into the higher functions of where it comes from, basically, because it's within every one of your cells, my nigga, as a point of gravity in itself. That's why you'll fuck around and be floating in the air. Please believe it. Right? But that's just one function. That's just one example, or I guess you could say indication. Right? What are you doing? Where's your mind at while you're floating and shit, nigga? That's not to be explained to nobody else that wouldn't be also doing the same thing. They're not going to understand it to begin with. That's probably why you probably never see it, because like I said, all of our thoughts and emotions are connected. So that's going to interfere if you're not already on in a type of mind state and mode to where that would not be surprising to you. Then it's probably not even going to happen around you, because your oscillation is throwing it off to a certain extent. And that's just facts. That's the situation, right? That's why you're not going to catch it on camera, because that very camera in itself got all these devices in it. There's electrons moving around up in that, right? And so, like I said, that 0 point energy, that God consciousness, as the scientists will call it, as the very doctor will tell you about it, / key energy, is omnipresent at all moments. It's everywhere, right? Kinetic energy is organizing the power or energy of the movement through concentrated and choreographed movements, as well as momentums. That's the kinetic energy. Yes, that organizes the power within the very movement of you breathing, right? Of your lungs expanding and contracting. And the actual momentum of that in reference to every other organ, through your cellular activity. Even most specifically the DNA in whatever particular cells that have DNA in them, because not every one of your cells have DNA in it. Right? So that's really kind of like the pattern, the grid that you're going to follow as to capitalize off of whatever functions is going on. Like, you got to think, what cells got DNA in them, when and where are they at, and what organs are they related to, right? You might have a cell that got DNA in it, which whatever, no matter what kind of cell it is and what organ it's in, if it got DNA in it, then it's able to receive that signal, my nigga. Right? It's all psycho-spiritual, you know what I mean? Infinite divine consciousness. It's what gives the stars their light, but it's omnipresent everywhere at one time. Everywhere at one time is what I was saying. Quantum, non-localized, or centralized life, the perpetual spirit energy, perpetuating, always on, but never like to where it's, it's all like, just like an atom is, just like an atom or a particle, basically. By the time that you would even capture a particle to say where it's at, it's going to be moving somewhere. It's going to pop in and out of that dimension, basically. Right? That's what it's doing. That's what all particles are doing. They're coming in and out of the dimension. And by the time it come back, they don't even tell them if it's the same particle or not. Right? But it's within whatever structure, because an electron is a particle. You know what I mean? A photon is a particle. But they all make up an atom, right? So that electron is not even the same electron. It's still circulating though, right? As the electron is circulating, my nigga, it's blinking in and out of that fucking dimension, nigga, faster than you can even see it, my nigga. As well as that proton, and the neutrons is blinking in and out of that dimension, dog. Did you hear what I said? That means, nigga, you connect enough and strong enough, and you feel me, in whatever sorts of structured, harmonizing, resonant melody right? Because you got harmony and you got resonance, then you got melody, right? Harmonious melody is the pattern of the harmony. Yes? It's got to resonate though. To begin with, you start with the resonant, and that's what's happening in your cells. Through what? Through your thought energy and your brain, which is electromagnetic synapses, right? But a piece of that is already pulling from through kinetic energy, which that's kinetic energy already, raw kinetic energy, right? Because if so, your fucking brain would overheat if you got to thinking too much. There's a lot of synapses going off at once. It'll fry your brain if it was all super thermal and radiant, which it is to a certain extent. There's elements of it, but it's still more so connected to that, you know, that bioluminescence. You know what I mean? That spirit, basically, is what we're speaking about. Inner light, psychic, metaphysical, quantum, conscious light. Right? But like I said, yes. And focusing and circling the kinetic energy, we're now distributing, like I said, literal gravity. Because that is the first identification that you could identify of that key energy, infinite divine consciousness. Right? They call it scalar waves or scalar energy. Scalar light, scalar sound, right? Unified field, aka luminous energy web, right? That I mentioned. The luminous energy web or field, that's what you call it when it's integrated with the material basic structures of what's already going on and established based on larger scale or larger spectrum gravity in different areas. Because every core of a planet got gravity, right? A star got gravity, you know, but all of our universe is now spinning around a point of gravity, right? Then expanded and spaced out through this, it's not even really space, it's just more unmanifest, they call it background waves. It's really waves, it's nothing but waves, right? And that's what energy moves through is waves, right? But the energy has to still be expressed, right? So that's why all that space is there. It's just, it's potential movement, but it's not moving necessarily. It is because it's expanding at all times, but that's really just already just kind of like a result of the fuller thing that's happening, the fuller action that's happening, right? It's just interesting, man. It's really crazy. I found that to be interesting though. But as far as like electromagnetic light, or electromagnetic energy, that's only a reference to the source of energy, right? Even the sun itself is a performance of that. It's a broadcast, and once you see the light, it's already, you know, active. It's already entered this dimension, basically. Yeah, it's already entered this dimension. But like I said, even in this dimension, all of that is still present. It's present everywhere. You know, but it's just where is it that you're going to take it, basically? And where is it going to take you? Right, because you got to be careful, man. Right, because you got to be careful. You absolutely must be careful. You absolutely must be careful. It's really mixed up. It's twisted up, you know. They say God's presence on earth is a goddess. Right, because you got to be careful, man. You absolutely must be careful. It's really mixed up. It's twisted up, you know. They say God's presence on earth is a goddess, you know, and it's dwelling within the earth, right? This particular material dwelling here on earth is supposedly in the hand of the wicked one the entire time before
the retribution after it's all said and done, when we supposedly return to paradise. As all humans, not just the first two at that point. Right? Paradise on earth, they say. And they being the same ones that say whatever they saying about whoever would be saying otherwise. Or would have some shit to say, bro. So it's like, you can't pick it apart and try to, you know what I mean, for shock value, shine light, right, on different sections of the shadow, nigga. For shock value, shine light, right, on different sections of the shadow, nigga. Look at it for all what it is. The shit is automatically retarded. The shit is automatically retarded. At the first line, what beginning? God has no beginning. In what beginning? Whose beginning we talking about? Ask Solomon. No, man, you know what it is? Don't ask Solomon. Ask Solomon wives. Because the nigga couldn't answer them. Ask Eve, nigga. He went to her first. So, it's between you and her. Always. Whoever you see her as. And it's between you and him. Always. Whoever you see him as. Yes? That's where it's going to end up, and that's where it's going to start. Can't have no life without that spark. And that's the truth, and that's the truth. That's the truth between you and whoever else is going to agree to it. Is what the truth represents. Jesus says of Satan, Samuel / the devil / whatever her name is, that the truth, that he has not the truth in him. But what exactly is the truth? And that you got to really be careful. You got to listen to what they say to you. What's the truth? All is truth. Ain't nothing separate from infinity and eternity. So what the fuck is the beginning? It's that word is that beginning. And what is truth outside of all life and love? What is untrue? Well, shit, the only thing that would be untrue is this shit that you finna have to focus on because you trying to prove some shit, basically. And if you're trying to focus on some shit to prove it, then it's that's already been classified for you, cuz. Because there's no such thing as truth, nigga. Outside of life and love. And you and another person. And the trust. The trust between you and that person. Or whoever other people. And so, overallly, through that agreement, which is perfect, right? Which is balanced. That's unforgivable. You know, when you solo, you still imperfect, you still imbalanced, you still forgivable, right? But when you break trust, now you're sinning. Willfully, right? Because you can lie by accident, but if it's an accident, then it's not really a lie, right? But to hide the truth purposely and put it off as if it is what it isn't for your own selfish gain when it involves anyone else is breaking the law of nature. Okay? It is undermining and disrespecting the law of nature itself, which is to impose your will upon another person's will. If a person takes your word for what it is, and whatever reason they have to take your word when it's not never necessary to take another person's word, as opposed to just respect them to be saying whatever it is they're saying, and you assessing what it is you would do in reference or in fucking comparison or in the light of, accordingly and wisely, you know. But when you make an agreement with a person, then that right there is God in itself.
They say with two people meet in the name of God, their God is. So that's the start. That's the first step towards the return. Yes, yes, yes. I think yes, because you have to be smart. You have to choose wisely. You have to be careful, because there's never no reason to say some shit that you don't mean, unless you trying to be mean, unless you want to hurt somebody. It may not be your fault. Hurt people. That may not be what your intention is, but if you were to really think about it and be true to yourself, be real with yourself, then you will be able to see that it is that you would rather have that drama because of whatever exciting type of provoking wheezing, immaturely, and from whatever sort of imbalanced angle, right? It's never no reason for you to include some shit that you ain't ready to move on, unless you really trying to stagnate another person, right? Unless you jealous of whatever would be happening without your ass, basically, like this nigga, like this evil ass nigga, right? And that's how we look at it, but it's not only just that. It's not only just that, because cuz is referred to as different things. But don't nobody even say about what actual cuz name is, that you can't even say out loud without getting cuz attention. They say you can only say the first two letters of cuz name, which is SA, which is the beginning of this other name that everybody know, of course. Right? But this is all after the original wisdom. This is all after the original source wisdom, nigga. And nigga, first words collected into a system of spoken truth, nigga. Spoken guided codes of laws, okay? I mean, that's just how you gotta approach it as far as even wisdom, right? Because we speaking about becoming, right? This is a piece on pain. This is a piece on pride. This is a piece on power. This is a piece on purity, or the purification. Because that is happening. All right. Now you want to deflect it. You want to postpone it. You want to, you know what I mean? You want to deflect it. Then that's, just know that you're going to be doing that, or you're going to be reflecting it. Right. And of course we fall short, and that's what it is to sin. But that doesn't mean that you're faultless, right? Because you are capable. You have that free will within you, which is to be aligned with divine will, so as to realize your highest self, all being self, which was the first law before any other written collection of codes. That all is self, mind, self. They say mind as well. But what's the difference between self and mind? What's the difference between self and mind? Soul and spirit. Well, these are all terms, right? These are all sounds, collected letters. And they have a derivative. They are derivative of a particular origin as well. So I can give you my interpretation or my opinion about it, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm citing the sound. I'm citing the light in it. I'm citing the actual, not only just truth or fact, but reality of it. Because what is real is what is between what you and another person will agree to. That's real enough. And that's all reality is, especially in this form, in this plane, in this realm of reality. It only can be so real without whoever else to begin with, solo man. So how real you gonna make it? You know, how real you gonna make it? How true you gonna make it? How trill you gonna keep it? How raw you gonna take it? Yeah, because that's the question. I say, and I encourage you to let it live, right? You have to let it be proven, and as opposed to trying to stamp it with whatever sort of definition or explanation is going to explain itself if you're patient. But if you ain't patient, then that's already a fruitage of your spirit that's spoiled, right? Because that's one of the fruitages of the spirit, right? Patience, long suffering. The other ones, kindness, right? Joy is one of them. Okay, now that's what, 4 or 5. I think it's about 8 of them, or maybe 6 or 7. Another one is courage, I do believe, right? Yeah, so that's all wisdom, though. It is wise to have these fruitages of the spirit, right? And to cultivate these fruitages of the spirit, it builds your wisdom. Patience being one of my favorite ones, believe it or not. And not only clinical knowledge, right? Because a religious person is going to tell you all knowledge belongs to God, which is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whatever knowledge you want, you will then take and try to utilize. There's always a motive in that. If you think about it, there's always business, some sort of, surrounding business involved with that. But not only just earthly or physical, or rather call it fleshly wisdom. We're talking about fruitages of the spirit that is cultivated through, of course, your physical, your corporal actions and decisions, right? This is how you free yourself with the help of God, of course. God being love, God being everything, including this fucking creature characteristic. That's still God. It's the part. That's how everything in the beginning, God in the beginning was the word, nigga. You got goodness in there. Another one, or gentleness, peace. Most importantly, peace on top of patience. And also love. Love, peace, and patience, right? Because these all involve these cultivations of the spirit, right? This cropping, this reaping, right? This growing, this cultivation, right? Into materialization, yes? Because different things in your life, different people in your life, different activity, different events in your life, actual objects in your life materialize through the manifestation of these qualities, characteristics. That includes your thoughts, your actions, and your words. The threefold triangle of your soul involves what you think, not only what you think, what you do, not only what you do, but what you think. Not only what you think, but what you say. Because this is all action in itself. A thought is an action. An action is an action. A word. What are you doing? You saying some shit for whatever reason. Let that reason be love, kindness. Firstly, whatever else you want to make it, it can be player. I believe that's one of the fruitages of the spirit is playerness. Absolutely. No, you know what? I'm sure. If you go look it up, player is number 2. No, so we got love, we got sexiness. It's number 2 after love, and then we have patience and peace, of course. I think, and you got kindness, joy up in there, right? You got self-control. Is really my actual favorite one, but I don't be liking niggas testing me personally, so that's not on the forefront of my mind. I gotta worry about controlling myself, especially when it comes to respect and honor. I mean, I'm gonna act like I'm the most perfect with that, but that's definitely a glue of it, you know what I mean? That's like the sort of iron of it, right? While you got joy, that's kind of like the silver or something, and you got love, that's of course the diamond, and then you got patience, which is like the gold. But iron is the strongest of the metals. Self-control. Right? Because how you gonna love if you don't control yourself? How you gonna be patient if you don't control yourself?
How you gonna be joyous if you can't control yourself? You know? How you gonna be kind? You can't control yourself. You know what I mean? How you gonna be gentle? You can't control yourself. How you gonna be a player, my nigga? You can't control yourself. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's all up in there, all together. I'm forgetting something. Self-centeredness is definitely not one of them. Lying is definitely none of them. Don't get me wrong, you know, it's not kind to deceive someone all the time, but sometimes it's kind to deceive a person. But it's gonna come around where it can do damage. You know, and that's not nothing you can control. You can only do your best to manage it. When it's between you and her, it should stay there, but each of us are not either only just one person is apart. And that energy is already existing from generations before now, through the sound, which is the light, which is the thoughts. Alright, and so you want to be able to be smart. Your game gotta be strong to where you ain't gotta deceive in order not to reveal. Understand? Bringing that light over. Champ. Which is the light. Which is the thought. Alright? And so you want to be able to be smart. Your game gotta be strong to where you ain't gotta deceive in order not to reveal. Creative is a better word than clever or careful or wise in that sense, right? You gotta be creative. Yeah. Because thoughts create after their own kind. Thoughts held in mind, right? Create after their own kind. Create.
Sound is the light. The sound is the light. The sound is the light. This I've seen to be right. A night I closed my eyes to recite signs from the heart hiding behind my mind, and the dark surrounding this life became bright. These terms had me taken for a ride as they began to rhyme, describing might in a manner mind, each utterance a tunnel as enlightenment comprised. Astounded, I expounding in a dialect divinely aligned, lyric lit, a list, mesmerizing my measurements by the vibe. I heard lies untying. Evaporated from the shine, flickering my memories, sliding into hyperdrive. Inner eye, steering, blinded with vision, unconfined. A love of life, coupled indication. Hunches, implicated of other phrases. Shaded range, raid, arrayed, prayed, and primed. The sound is the light. Right, yeah. Wrong. No. In the beginning of what exactly? Right? Yeah. In the beginning of what, right? Beginning, you know, Most High is the Most High is Alpha and Omega, Omega and Alpha, beginning and end, no ending or beginning. All of infinity and eternity has no beginning. So in the beginning of what exactly? Beginning of some old bullshit you ask me, but that's if you ask me. And even if you was to ask me, I would have to respond to you in what? In some words, in some sound. In the beginning of sound in itself, yes? Which is the beginning of this universe, right? Which Big Bang blew up out of something, which is eternal. Right? However many millions of years ago, this part of it, this is all of what God is not the Word, but in whatever beginning, God was the Word, but God is all, right? So God was only the Word and nothing else. Well, that was in the beginning. That means that God built from there into more of what God is, because God is everything. And that is also said in that word. Next, right? After stating initially and introductively that God is the Word, or was the Word in the beginning, right? So from there, God continues becoming whatever else as well, even though all of it, our Creator would have to be anything that it exists at all, and even what don't exist is God. Okay? That is the whole concept of the creation of anything that could be any thought of anything. And this is just in our limited conception of it, which is only limited because it's disconnected. That's why we have to remember the shit. You understand? Right? Now, as far as the beginning of what and how the God is the Word, that's once we started relying on these thoughts and this sound, which frequency is sound, as we said, right? As what they gonna be saying, which they're not gonna be able to even get around saying, which is already understood but not even emphasized or focused on, because we're not making that connection, that very simple connection. What is the fuck is a word? You can't have a word without no sound. Right? So where is the light coming at? Okay? I said in one of my pieces, the sound is the light. I saw this to be right. One night I closed my eyes and some shit. I said, let me read that to you. I said, anyway, the light is God and is the Word, right? Because of course that's that solar power in itself, right? Solo man, yes. Soul man, yes. Everything is this, but this is just another level of the nature of all that God is, because God is beyond just that word. God exists and is existing, or is God is or am, basically. For him to even say that I am was the beginning in uttering I am. Okay, now this comes from literature tens of thousands, 40s of thousands of years, if not hundreds of thousands of years, in one of the first original languages before Hebrew was designated and designed from this only recorded alternate language that we have, which is the Sanskrit language, which every word that exists is traced back to the sounds of Sanskrit, even beyond the Hebrew. They said that God was creating himself and saying that I am, which is soul, man. No, yes, maybe. I believe perhaps, at least, kind of. In enough ways, and however many ways, is absolutely a design to it, a pattern to it. As all cultures and traditions assign a particular pattern to creation. Every heritage, every creed has a creation story, original creation story that was told, that was accepted, that was revered and praised and worshipped before whatever other creation story, and before that creation story, and before that creation story. And what does the first creation story say? Well, it speaks of a goddess called Mama Wata, okay, who becomes Tiamat in the Sumerian culture, right? Who then becomes the demiurge, right? Who is now associated with this dark figure because, of course, the Watas, which they say all life come up out of the water, as far as human life, even with the bacteria, that's how we even get single-celled organisms, which become molecules, which make the fucking substance of the material in this material realm that our bodies, as a base, consist of, began in those waters with Mama Wata, okay, who becomes this now other nigga now. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the reality of it, as far as like the first type of, you know what I mean, the whole little developing of it, right, from words into whatever else. Because in the beginning, God was the Word, but God is not only anything, okay? And however God is only anything is however it is now that we're spinning the significance of even mentioning it at all, okay? As far as whatever type of accusations was made, right? You know what I mean? Now you understand what's being said here, right? It's only the word, and once we start relying on that sound, which is the light, which is the time and the space, right? However, even as humans, there's no living organism, no thinking, breathing organism that can emit any sound continuously. You always have to return to that or that ang, which is the silent love, and the is the spoken love. Okay, is love, light in the light sound form, and you got ong, which is before you basically materialize it, basically through the sound, right? Which only lives so long, right? Because even when you emit whatever sound in words, in song, whatever it is, you can be moaning. That's probably the closest you're gonna get for it to be continuous. But it's not gonna stay continuous. I mean, I have a theory, okay? I have a thesis in mind that we can reach that continuous sound. It's gonna take some patterning and some steps, right? And some trust and some love in many different forms. Yes, there's forms of love, all sorts of forms. Eros is only the outer form, that being the physical, right? The romantic type, you know what I mean? Material love. But you also have philos, which is of the mind, which is the soul in itself. So there's a connection, but then you also have what is called agape love. You understand? Now, agape love is divine love, is universal love. It's selfless in itself. All being self, but that's only here. There's a love that is selfless. You understand? That is only here in the here. Get it? That is only here in the here. You understand? With an A before the R. You understand? And only one of the E's. And we take the H off, then we got what? We got ear, even in here, right? What's that backwards? Era. As in erroneous. So, God is only the word, in us relying in those words or that sound, which is an emanation from somewhere. Just like we would speak something, but we have to breathe in between the sounds that we make. Do we not? Do we not? Do we not need to breathe? Do we not need to breathe? And what do you hear when you breathe it? Which is, you can't be talking and breathing at the same time. I can, because why am I motherfucking Player is why. Nigga, I'm a player, so I can breathe breathe out and in at the same time, nigga, and be talking or not. Nigga, I can think out loud, nigga. That's what I'm doing right now, nigga. Thinking out loud, nigga. Now that's an impossibility that I done made possible through my imagination, yes? And that's what exactly they made possible and how they made it possible. Through that imagination with what? Those sounds. And that's how they termed it, yes. But it already has its own structure to it, right? As far as the physicalities, it's only the foundation, right? But you cannot build without a foundation. You cannot have a home, a temple, a palace, a mosque, a church, a bank, a school without foundation. And that's what this is. This is what we are. This is the base level. I mean, you can, but because God can do anything and anything is possible. However, whatever happens, it's already happened. Okay. Not only in that, everything is destined and, time is eternal. So whatever has happened will always be didn't happen because there's no beginning or past or future. That's part of it as far as the now is concerned. However, as far as, from the realm of potential through probability into possibility, now cultivated into manifestation materially, by what? The will, of course, but we say we want to cultivate into materialization. We want to manifestation. And okay, yeah, there you go. We want to manifest through cultivation into materialization. Yes, materialization, and that's what this is the material structure that we reference all of quantum levels from. They say all of the quantum universe is in one single cell or single atom. It's one single atom. The very structure, the design of all design, right? That's that Fibonacci spiral. That's the pattern in itself. And it can be broken down numerically, and that's how they even was able to code the Hebrew language the way they was, to where now every letter is a word, and it's a different word depending on what letters next to it and before it, before and after, omega and alpha, right? But if you take the same word that was already said out loud, or rather same letter, right? You say a word in Hebrew, yes? And this shit is going on even in the language we speak without even realizing, being that every language is based on this particular structured sound and the rituals that were done, nigga, with light, love, blood, tears, water, literally, nigga, over centuries, nigga. It's new, but it's still old enough for us to forget about what came before for whatever reason. But it's a reason. And it's a reason you're denying and ignoring for whatever other reason. It's a reason we denying it, and it's a reason we denying it. And that's a lot of reasoning as far as that thoughts are concerned. But even thoughts are sounds. Okay? And you cannot speak without those bridges, those dots in between to connect. Those are those moments of silence. Okay? Now, we have removed ourselves into the reason for the reason by even ignoring our subconscious thoughts. But we're not supposed to be ignoring our subconscious thoughts, nigga. We're supposed to be facing our subconscious thoughts. We're supposed to be arranging our subconscious thoughts. We're supposed to be collecting, recollecting, remembering these scattered, forgotten feelings, forgotten notions and realizations through silencing our mind and not just ignoring the background noise that is our subconscious thoughts. Reasoning on the reason that's not even a real reason to begin with. You know what I mean? You gotta back it up, track it back. You know what I mean? Return it. Only in that we're relying on this sound, but like I said, you can't even say a sound without that silence. And between the silence is the meaning of that very sound that you would say after whatever it is you've already said or have been said or would say next. Okay? I can't even say nothing without not saying nothing, nigga. Right? If I try to say nigga, I'm still not done saying that sentence. I can say nigga rockwa. You feel me? I'm not done with that word until I'm done with that word, and that's the whole point. When something is what it is, it can be anything, but whatever it is already what it is, and we're gonna rock with it as established. And that is the whole fucking point lesson of the fucking story, of the account, is the establishment of that foundation. Okay? From whatever level to whatever level it was meant for, and also includes automatically through that proper arrangement, which of course is the two sides, those two polar opposites. Yes, dark and light, silence and sound is all related in a particular way, and it comes together through those hearts, right? Because even scientifically and biologically, it explains itself, but that's under wraps as to what the actual difference, even biologically, of a man and woman is, my nigga. What the answer to that is? Well, there's ways that we differ, but those are complements in that they are contrasts, and not only just differences or conflictions. You know, that's another fun part of it. But when we can answer that completely, then it will even make it much more complete and make it much more connected. You know what I mean? Even in whatever disconnections that already exist, they're there for a reason as well. And then for us to embrace and appreciate the very truth of them, the authenticity of the established, but whatever ain't what it is, because it's in disguise for whatever other reason on top of another reason that is actually linked to just an explanation of the fuller purpose, is an illusion. Just like truth is an illusion. There's nothing but the truth. Truth is a word. Now, when we talk about words, now truth can exist, of course. But truth can't exist without no words. But it does exist without words. Is the point I'm making to you. And even more so without them words. Unless all this unnecessary speaking is going on without the proper arrangement. Right? As far as the spirit is concerned, which we not only just bodies, cuz. You understand? That is the base, the foundation, the frame. Right? But we gotta paint these windows, nigga. We gotta paint these windows off. Bro, we need to upholster these walls, nigga. You feel me? We gotta put this lighting. We gotta do the lighting and the plumbing, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? The irrigation system of the land that this house is on, which is this earth. Us as humanity is founded on this earth, which is the land. Founded on the land that is the earth. Right? But this earth ain't only just dirt, dog. It's also deep, dark water. And we can beautify it or we can dilapidate it, you know, as a structure. That's all our right to do. We're given that free will to do that, right? But it's, like I said, it's already been decided already. It's been decided as to what it will be. It could be anything. It is what it is, though. And anything else that it will be only otherwise or elsewise, or next, or alternative to what already has happened. Firstly, and principally, right? Principally, primarily, is principally. And that is where we get the principles, the codes, the very law of nature in itself. And that's how you connect to it, right? It's through that silence, bro. It's gonna take that silence, dog. Literally, bro. Like, that's code. Like, all of sound is in the silence. But then when you break it apart by, you know what I'm saying, emitting, right? By exerting, expressing, right? It's now communicating, and whatever expression is automatically going to communicate a message, right? But what is your communication expressing? You feel me? You might have an idea of what it is that you want to illustrate, that you want to impress upon another person's brain or idea or mind or heart or soul or her perspective, right? But they're going to interpret it how they're going to interpret it. What you have in mind is what you have in mind. What they have in mind based on what it is now that you have shared with them, wholly or not, halfly or not, is what they have on their mind. Now that's two separate ideas about the same idea, technically, but not even so, because first of all, it's not even whole in that you're emphasizing whatever it is you would be emphasizing to them. However, you don't say shit, and they don't say shit, and you just do, then that's a third interpretation. But you never say nothing, and it's going to be just that much more marvelous and beautiful, right? And that's the test, that's the challenge in this room, in a nutshell. So as not to accuse wrongly or incorrectly. Yeah. So as not to accuse or slander based on your understanding, which is incomplete to begin with, especially without another person's confirmation and agreement, but even more so, the wrong, you know what I mean, improperly or imbalanced, without that third element, right? Which is that silence. Which is that silence. That trust. That trust. That peace. That peace. That trust. That peace. Give it up, hip hop, hip hop. You wanna hear it again? Go pick up that little joint. It's not really available. I'm gonna just kick it to you. Nah, it's alright. You probably heard it. I think I fucked up. I'm gonna try to see if I can do it without fucking up. At times I lose focus when it seems hopeless that when doors get closed, a window is opened. Or so I've noticed from those growing colder. From so much exposure, they don't know they're in from up, down, and without a doubt, which is better. Like exit to enter. Life depends on time you'd arrive to finish or start to leave. Hardly seems part of the scheme to freeze. So bundle up, muster up, muscle enough to lift off. Get on or get lost in the breeze. Misty drafts drift past sceneries. Believe you can be free as the leaves we need, or even the heat that leaves need to be green. All for even me to see, that is when I can breathe at ease without weed or nicotine. Reap a different seed. Probably peep some different shit to read. At least weave into the lead of my own lane. In a race against shame. Still out of place from days I spent shit racing the wrong way. I take a long gaze in zone, amazed that shades shone over fade as if not to know pain. So sane, on plane with both brains. My way of thought, nigga, just soul trains. The engine that could chief, but would seek understood meekness as each speaking Indian should. Like oceans to beaches, deepness. For roots to be synced in. And truth, proven as reason, can hopefully keep fixed the seasick. In the mix, and in the midst, with the misfits and mischievous, my sixth sense enriched dismisses insignificance. And imminence dispenses increments of bliss, represents different instances for me to make attempts as I take a glimpse to witness.